That's Kellerman. I met her when I was manager of the Hippodrome in New York City. But the real beginning of her story starts years before and thousands of miles away in a town in Australia. As a child, and that was a cripple, with heavy braces on her legs. One afternoon, she disappeared. When her frantic father finally found her...
But, Daddy, I'm all right. All I did was go in swimming. Oh, the water's just wonderful, Daddy.
Annette, my baby. In heaven's name, whatever possessed you? You might have drowned.
Oh, but I can't drown, Daddy. I've learned to swim.
Darling, you know what the doctor said. That your legs would never be strong enough for what other children do.
My legs are strong. Look, I can even walk without my braces.
No, you'll fall. Oh, sweetheart, you mustn't be envious of the others.
Oh, I'm not, Daddy. Not since I can swim. And how can anything hurt you when it makes you feel so good? Oh, please let me come back and swim again.
You really want to?
More than anything.
Then we'll come back here and swim every day.
Oh, thank you, Daddy. Thank you.
As the years hurried by, the iron braces were discarded and forgotten. Annette became an expert swimmer, and a gleaming array of silver loving cups stretched across the shelf in the study of her father's conservatory of music. And then, as a young woman, she won the most cherished award of all.
Amateur champion of New South Wales. Why, it's wonderful, darling. I'm very proud of you.
Only why does it always have to be a cup? What we really need is a new tea service.
And if you're wondering why I wasn't there to watch you this afternoon, I've been going over some business matters.
Oh, times are bad for everyone, Daddy.
The few pupils we have left hardly pay expenses. I've decided to close the conservatory.
Oh.
No. We're not charity cases yet. I've heard from Mr. Crocker.
Mr. Crocker from London?
He's offered me a post as his assistant. I think I should accept.
Well, Dad, if it's just a question of money, well, I could teach swimming or turn professional.
No, forget it, my dear. Swimming has given you back your health, and for that I'm eternally grateful. But as a career, no. Your music comes first. Music and the ballet. And in London you can study with the very best.
Well, there's one thing I know, Dad. There's a lot of silver in those loving cups. So don't worry, darling. The Kellermans will always be.
Among the passengers on the long voyage to England was a young fellow named Sidney. Sidney was a kangaroo.
And I'm not going to warn you again, Mr. Sullivan. If you let that kangaroo out of the old dust once more, I'll put him off at the next port and you with him.
Well, I'm terribly sorry, Percy, but, Sidney isn't just a kangaroo. He's a boxer, a prize fighter, greatest left hook in the business.
I don't question that. Just look at my door.
Hey, Doc, let Sidney down to a hole. He'll have to forget his road work and put on the gloves, so I'll get him some exercise.
Come on, champ. Let's go.
I hope we didn't scare you too much.
Oh, no, we're very fond of kangaroos.
Good. You're bound for London, too?
Yes. My daughter's going to study the ballet.
Well, you must be my guest at Sydney's opening. I'll be at the Greenwich Carnival.
Well, that's very kind of you.
Yeah, just ask for Jimmy Sullivan. Sullivan's Wonder Show.
My name is Kellerman. My daughter, Annette.
Annette Kellerman, a swimmer? Well, I've read about you in the newspapers.
Yes. My daughter just won the Amateur Freestyle Championship of New South Wales. There's a new record, too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but you did.
Well, swimming's very popular in Australia.
Yes, I can understand why.
Well, I hope Sydney's a big success, Mr. Sullivan. Come along, dear.
For the next day or two, the enthusiastic Mr. Sullivan was rarely out of Annette's sight. And then, on a lovely tropical evening, with the deck bathed in moonlight and the music of the ship's orchestra in the background,
I can't figure it out, Annette, how a girl as pretty as you are can break swimming records and how a girl who breaks swimming records can insist on ballet dancing as a career.
Well, what's wrong with the ballet?
Oh, I don't know. I guess I've always associated it with underfed French girls and swans.
Oh, and I'm more of the plump duck type.
Oh, no. I mean, well, whatever type you are, it must be my type.
Well, delighted to hear that.
Oh, now, wait a minute. Don't be angry. Well, it's just that I don't know how to say it. 2 days ago, I meet a girl for the first time, and, well, I can't get her out of my mind. Annette, there's something I've got to ask you. I can't stand it any longer.
Well?
Annette, I want to manage you.
Manage? Did you say manage?
Well, what's the matter?
Well, nothing. Nothing at all. Oh, I'm sorry.
Look, I know it when I see you. When you're a wonderful swimmer, you're a beautiful girl. They'll come to see you in London by the tens of thousands. And they'll pay for the privilege.
Pay to see me swim?
That's where I come in. Ideas, new effects. Zip, I can see you now. Annette Kellerman, the Australian mermaid. She's half woman, half fish.
How nice. Shall we shake fins on it?
Oh, now you don't believe me. I'll build you a little tank. Make you up to look like a real mermaid. Scaly tail and all. You'll be a bigger draw than a kangaroo.
I doubt it, Mr. Sullivan.
Good evening, Mr. Kellerman.
Mr. Sullivan, my daughter is not half woman, half fish. She is, I assure you, all woman.
Well, I couldn't agree with you more.
Nor is she interested in wearing a mermaid's tail.
Well, Mr. Kellerman,
We don't wish to discuss it any further.
But it's the greatest
yes,
idea.
Yes, I know. Since Sydney the kangaroo. Come along, Dad. But you get an A for effort, Mr. Sullivan.
The Kellermans reach London, but they come halfway around the world only to learn the crushing news that they'd come for nothing. The Crocker Conservatory music was told.
But surely there was some message for you, Dad. Someone must have been there.
There's the caretaker. The Crocker is dead.
Oh.
Been dead almost a month. I don't know what to do, Annette. Our funds are all but gone.
Well, there's one thing we can do. We can move out of this hotel. We'll find a couple of rooms somewhere, and, well, we'll go to work.
Right now, I can't even think.
Well, that's good. Then you can't worry. Now, just remember, Dad, the Kellermans will always be.
Yes, the Kellermans got by thanks to those silver loving cups. One by one, they disappeared at the pawnbroker. And then, early one evening, Annette had visitors. Young Mr. Sullivan and his friend Dalton.
How in the world did you know where we were?
Simply by following the cab that brought your baggage over from the hotel.
Oh, but that was 2 weeks ago.
Yes. Well, we've been kind of busy.
Dad's out right now, but sit down, won't you?
Well, thank you. What smells so good?
Oh, I'm making an Australian stew.
Australian stew?
Mm-hmm. It's same as Irish, only the meat's down under. Well, why don't you stay for dinner and find out for yourself?
Oh, but we couldn't possibly say. I mean, just walking in like this? No, we couldn't.
Well, there's plenty, and I insist. Now, when I set the table, you can tell me all about the kangaroo. How is Sydney?
Sensational. He's developed a 1-2 punch. Yeah, and I've got the nose to prove it. Look at this.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, he's the greatest act ever to be put under a tent. There's only one thing wrong. No one knows about it. And that's where you come in.
Where I come in?
Annette, listen. Once we get enough people down to the carnival, the rest will take care of itself. So we thought maybe you'd like to make a little money.
But how?
Well, the idea I had in mind was to swim down the Thames River, maybe 5 or 6 miles, ending up at the carnival at Greenwich. Oh, we'd follow you in a rowboat, of course. If Sydney could swim, we wouldn't bother you. We'll pay you £5 and 50% of the first day's proceeds.
Well, if you're going to stage a swim, why don't you make it a real swim? 6 miles won't impress anybody. 26 miles might.
26 miles?
Mm-hmm.
I can't even row that far. Annette, you're not joking?
Of course not.
Well, if you mean that, why, I'll stay in this town on its ear. I'll notify the newspapers. We'll really belly to it. Why, Sidney will have to fight off the customers.
And you'll give me £5.
You need the money badly, don't you?
Well, yes, you could use a little. Oh, I'll swim on just one condition, though. My father isn't to know about it until it's all over.
You got a deal.
Well, that's good. Now, sit down and have some soup. Remember those cups I won that Dad told you about?
Well, of course we remember.
Well, you may not be aware of this, gentlemen, but you are about to dine on the Freestyle Championship of New South Wales.
Annette started her swim at dawn the next morning, but the crowd Jane Sullivan had counted on somehow wasn't there. No one was there. It was a cold morning, thick with fog. But Annette needed that 5 pounds, so she kept swimming. Slowly, gradually, the news got around. Clusters of people gathered on the bridges, some joked, some cheered. But as the hours dragged by, Dr. Jimmy knew he'd never make it.
What's the matter with you, Doc? Pull those oars.
I'm doing the best I can. The tide. It's a mill race. It's like a war.
The fog's getting worse, too. Oh, well, we'll still get publicity. Point alongside of her, Doc. We'll pull her in.
Yeah. This is it, huh?
Yeah, I know when we're licked. I can't let her kill herself for 5 pounds.
Look, maybe if
I
we
said
wait
if we're
just
going
a
to
little-
pull her in.
This is it, honey. Come on aboard.
No. No, I'll make it.
Stop these pullers. There's always another time.
No, Jimmy, please.
But you'll kill yourself fighting this tide.
I can't give up now. I just can't.
How much farther do I have to go?
I wish I could tell you. With a fog like this, I can't see the landmark.
Well, I think it's starting to lift.
It doesn't matter. We'll get you ashore and...
No, not yet.
Jimmy. Jimmy, look. Straight ahead. It's granite. It's granite.
How far?
About a mile away. Can you hold out, honey?
Sure. I'll make it, Jimmy. I know I will.
What do you think of a girl like that?
Annette's phenomenal swim brought Londoners by the droves down to Sullivan's Carnival. But it wasn't Sydney, the boxing kangaroo, that they wanted to see.
Oh, it's no use, Jimmy. We're selling tickets for the wrong attraction.
Yeah, poor Sidney. Looks like you swam him right out of his career.
This just doesn't make sense. The whole idea was for Sydney.
Annette, you made this swim without consulting me.
Oh, well, Dad.
I'm not complaining about that. I'm very proud of you. But if you think you've rested enough, I suggest we go home.
Oh, just one thing, Professor, and you might as well face it now. Your daughter is now a celebrity.
Yes, I've seen the newspapers.
She's already had a dozen offers.
Office? What kind?
Every kind. Personal appearances, swimming events, diving exhibitions. Why, the Crystal Palace wants to know if you can sing. And there's a newspaper that wants to sponsor a series of swims at beach resorts. They offered £8 a week.
Well, you didn't let them get away, did you? You accepted.
No.
Well, what offers did you accept?
None.
And what do you propose, Mr. Sullivan?
I propose to stage a show, our own show, a water carnival.
A water carnival?
Well, why not? It's something brand new. I'll even give you the ballet, a water ballet, set to music.
Just a moment. Where could you stage such an event? Where could you find a tank big enough for all this?
The tank's already built and waiting for it. Did you ever hear of the Hippodrome?
In New York?
Yeah.
My dear boy, really, 3,000 miles of ocean.
Well, what of it? It's the biggest tank in the world and the largest theater in the world.
And the longest swim in the world to get there. Jimmy, Dad and I couldn't pay for a trip to Liverpool, let
Who
alone...
said anything about that? Anyone who travels with Sullivan gets all expenses paid. Look, I happen to know Alfred Harper personally. He runs the Hippodrome. And he's showman enough to go for this idea in a second.
Well, how can you afford the fares? I thought you were broke.
Perhaps, but I've got such confidence in this that I'm willing to sacrifice my entire asset. What asset?
Sydney, the kangaroo. Oh, Jimmy, no.
There's a circus in town. I've already got an offer for him. Hi, you ready, old pal? Hey, see? Even Sydney approved. Get a sleep, Doc. Oh, come on. Now, don't take it too hard, Sidney. It's just part of show business, that's all. 1 minute you're up, 1 minute you're... Ooh!
Flat on the floor. Not a boy, Sidney. That's showing them.
Get him out of here. We'll meet you at the steamship office at 12 o'clock.
As far as I was concerned, Annette Kellerman was just another pretty girl on the day when Jimmy Sullivan brought her into my office at the Hippodrome. As for Jimmy's great idea, well, I just couldn't take a chance.
Well, what chance are you taking, Mr. Harper? You admit the idea is good?
A large part of our success is big names, Jimmy. You saw the billboards out there, Houdini, Marceline the Crown, Pavlova. But you want me to star an unknown girl.
Mr. Harper's right, Jimmy. Nobody knows you here.
Well, they know you in England. They know you in Australia. Look at these press clippings, Mr. Harper. Headlines, columns.
Yes, they're very impressive, but I can't build a show around a swimmer.
And that isn't just a swimmer.
Well,
and this water carnival idea is tailor-made for the Hippodrome.
look, Jimmy, we stage spectacles here, of course, but everyone has a plot, a story. It isn't that I don't like the idea, but Miss Kellerman, can you do anything besides swim? I might be needing some showgirls.
Well, I can dance.
Good. If you're interested, come back and see me on Monday. I'm afraid that's the most I can offer right now.
Thank you, Mr. Harper.
No, I won't let you. A showgirl when you could be the biggest attraction.
I can argue with you about that outside, Jimmy. Mr. Harper's pretty busy.
Thank you, Miss Kellerman.
Well, you thank her again someday. You wait and see.
I wouldn't be surprised if you're right. Good luck, Jimmy.
Well, that's that, I guess. We're back where we were, out in the street.
It isn't your fault, Jimmy. It was a good idea. And I went into it with my eyes open.
Well, you better take that, John. It's lots worse than being a showgirl at the Hippodrome.
And you and Doc?
We can go back to Boston, where we came from. I can always find a concession or something at Revere Beach.
Jimmy, I have to make some money. It's Dad I'm thinking about. He isn't well. I'm afraid to think what one more of these uncertainties will do to him. His whole life is music, loving it and teaching it. If I could only help him start his conservatory again.
You can.
How?
No, forget it. I'm not going to sell you on something else and have it fizzle out. You go to work for Harper. It's safe and expensive.
I need more than just expensive. Jimmy, how much can you make out of a concession?
If it clicks, plenty. Look, all we have to do is scrape enough money together to buy a tank, and then we... No, look, I told you to forget it. It's too much of a long shot, and I've only got $6 left.
I still have 3 silver cups. That'd be enough to get us to Boston, wouldn't it?
Maybe. What's on your mind?
Well, we swam down the Thames to get publicity, didn't we?
Keep talking.
Suppose we did the same thing here. A marathon swim. From somewhere. Anywhere.
No, not anywhere. From Revere Beach. Oh, baby, I knew we were a team from the very first time I saw you. I'll get enough backing for 10 tanks, not just one.
Jimmy, do you think so?
Who's going to stop us? Just tell me that. Who's going to stop us?
Who's going to stop them? Well, they were stopped by nothing less than the stoppingest institution in the land, the law. Annette had planned a 20-mile swim, starting at Revere Beach. But as she walked down to the water, the crowd on the beach stared speechless and goggle-eyed. Annette was wearing a one-piece bathing suit. Well, they weren't speechless for long.
I can hardly believe Mommy, look at these
Oh, this is ridiculous, Jimmy. Please, can't I start now?
There's a photographer I'm expecting as soon as he gets here. Now, look, don't let them bother you, honey. These same people will be cheering when you come back.
Jimmy, let me start.
Well, all right, go ahead. And don't worry about anything.
Just a minute. What do you think you're doing?
Officer, this is Annette Kellerman, the famous Australian swimmer. She's about to embark on a 20-mile swim.
Not in that outfit. Why, this is disgraceful.
Officer, I'm going to try to swim 20 miles. How can I swim in what those women are wearing? I'd drown in an outfit like that.
Just
Cover yourself, miss, and hurry up about it.
Come on, Jimmy. Let's get out of here.
Not on your life. You've done nothing wrong, and I won't let anyone intimidate you.
Well, just for that, you're under arrest. You're both under arrest.
Annette Kellerman arrested for indecent exposure. Australian girl causes near riot at Revere Beach. One-piece bathing suit shocks Boston seaside.
Indecent exposure. Hell for trial. Oh, those hypocrites, those sanctimonious, blue-nosed hypocrites. Oh, Dad, what are we going to do?
No, dear.
Hey, the lobby's full of reporters. They want to know, can they come up now?
Well, tell them to go away. Tell them I've left town.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, this is the greatest thing that ever happened.
The greatest... I'm booked and fingerprinted and arrested like a common criminal, and you say that...
Don't you realize who you are now? You're the standard bearer for all American womanhood. In your hands lies the power to break the shackles of prudery and convention. But go ahead, run away if you want to. But I tell you, this is more than a trial. It's more than newspaper headlines. This is a crusade.
Bravo.
Huh?
I said bravo. But it's up to you, Annette. You can pay the fine and leave Boston tonight, or you can accept the challenge and go to court.
Doc, you tell those reporters to come on up here. I'll give them a story. Bathing suit and all.
I suppose the entire country knew about Annette Kellerman and her one-piece bathing suit by the time she appeared on that court in Boston. The prosecutor's job was fairly easy. After all, Annette admitted everything.
And has brazenly flaunted every statute of decency. Your Honor, her guilt is incontestable. She admits she wore the garment in question.
I admit no such thing.
What's that?
You deny you appeared before several hundred men, women, and children on Revere Beach clad in a flimsy piece of material that barely covered...
I admit I wore a one-piece bathing suit. I do not admit it was indecent.
Then what would you call it? Your arms and shoulders completely exposed, not to mention your calves and legs.
Also my ankles, my toes, my knees, and my fingers.
Your Honor, this flagrant disrespect is nothing...
I object, Your Honor.
Are you the attorney for the defense?
No.
Then sit down before I ask you to leave. Miss Kellerman, is there anything more you wish to add?
Yes, Your Honor, there is. You see, I've been swimming in competition all my life, and the only way I've been able to compete successfully is by wearing a man's one-piece racing suit. After all, sir, you can't deny me my right to swim, can you?
No, certainly not.
Well, then how is it possible to swim a race tied up in a corset and 10 yards of wet drapery?
Miss Kellerman, please, I'm not the one on trial here.
I'm sorry, sir. Your Honor, do the authorities object to the one-piece bathing suit or to the fact that the limbs are not entirely covered?
Well, I see no reason to base any decision on a number of pieces in an article of clothing.
Well, then perhaps I can suggest a compromise. Now, here in this box is the original racing suit. There, you see?
The same suit?
Except that I've sewn some stockings on the bottom and a jersey on the top. And as you can see, this will cover the entire body except the forearms and the head.
I consider this shocking, Your Honor.
I consider it rather ingenious. And this is the bathing suit you'll use in the future?
Yes, Your Honor, or others like it.
In that event, Miss Kellerman, this case is dismissed.
Thank you.
Once again, Annette's name was all over the newspapers, and the crowds poured in to see her perform at Jimmy Sullivan's confession at Revere Beach. Week after week, the money rolled in, and week after week, Jimmy became more and more certain that Annette meant a great deal more to him than just the source of his income. And one day, while Doc was counting up the receipts...
You know something, Jimmy? Sometimes I wish we had that kangaroo again. We didn't make so much money, but I didn't have all this bookkeeping to worry about. Look here. Take this item here. Personal, $200. What's the idea?
Take a look, Doc. Is this personal enough?
Diamond ring. Well, did you ask her yet?
Today's the day, Doc. Season here closes real soon,
And you want somebody to keep your feet nice and warm at night. Great, but what about me?
Doc, I've got an idea for something brand new. A great idea. A swimmer and a flyer.
Flyer?
That Bud Williams act is dynamite. Do you know he can actually take that contraption 400 feet off the ground?
Nah, I don't like it. It's against nature.
Can't you see that big new poster now? Sullivan's Combined Show. King of the air, Queen of the sea. Oh, don't get me wrong. Annette will still be our number one attraction. But, well, we can dream, can't we?
Well, here she comes, dreamer.
Hi, I'm not late, am I?
I'll go out and sell them tickets.
Whose carriage is that out there?
A man named Aldrich. I had lunch with him in town.
Aldrich?
Uh-huh. He has a lecture bureau. He's offering me a great deal of money, Jimmy, just to do a series of lectures.
Oh, what kind of lectures?
Well, he says he sees me in a very dignified presentation, telling about the body beautiful and perhaps the ballet.
Oh, no.
Well, what's the joke? We close here in another week, and
Darling, I'm sorry, but one of us must be nutty. Can you imagine yourself up on a platform with a pitcher of water and a ballet, dancing around in some gauze window curtains?
Well, for the kind of money he offered me, yes. I don't see anything funny about it at all.
Oh, you will. So will the public.
You mean this is so much better? So much more dignified, so much more cultured? Swimming around in a 2x4 tank like a trained seal in a cheap carnival with a fat lady on one side and a fire eater on the other.
Oh, now, wait a minute.
Well, that's what Mr. Aldrich thinks about it.
Put on your suit, and the show starts in 20 minutes.
Jimmy, come on in.
Well, you were great just now, as usual. But we turned away 200 people.
Is that what you came to tell me?
No, I came to tell you I'm sorry. Big mouth of mine.
Oh, Jimmy, we shouldn't quarrel. Not about this lecture business, anyway.
But it must be important to you, Russell.
Look, we came here for one reason only. Money. Anything that offers us more money is more important. Darling, it's $500 a week for 10 weeks.
I see.
And it puts me that much closer to the Kellerman Conservatory.
You're doing this for your father, isn't it?
Well, in a way, yes. And it isn't as though we were splitting up. I'll talk to Aldrich. I'm sure there'll be an important job for you.
Yeah, like filling the water pitcher?
Jimmy.
Or putting up the drapes. Or maybe I could come out first and give a short talk on how high class we are. Look, baby, somewhere along the line we got our signals crossed. You got it in your head that you're Joan of Arc or something. Well, get it out fast. You're a swimmer doing a tank act in Sullivan's Water Carnival, and it's not a bad show either.
And how long can it last? After all we're doing is capitalizing on a lot of cheap bathing suit publicity.
Well, what's Aldrich got in mind that's any different? He's cashing in on the same dodge, a ballyhoo that I arranged.
You arranged?
Well, who do you think got that cop to arrest you in the first place?
Oh, no, Jimmy, you didn't.
Didn't I?
How can you stand there? What about all the talk about a crusade and how I was...
Bunk, who cares what a lot of females wear on the beach as long as I can keep you in a one-piece bathing suit? Baby, you're a swimmer. You belong in the water. Wet, you're terrific. Dry, you're just a nice girl who ought to settle down and get married.
Well, thank you. I'm very grateful for the advice. But if and when I do get married, it will never be to a cheap, stubborn flea circus proprietor.
This flea circus does all right for the fleas in it, except when they jump out of their cages. You want to be a toe dancer? Okay, honey, be a toe dancer and see what happens.
When the carnival closed, Annette went to Aldrich, not to accept his offer, but to turn it down. It was then that I re-entered her life. We changed our policy at the Hippodrome, and I sent her a telegram asking her to come to New York.
What's the matter, Dad? Aren't you excited about it? Alfred Harper, the New York Hippodrome.
Yes, it sounds wonderful, dear.
Oh, this is just what Jimmy always said I should do, and...
What is it in there? What's wrong?
Oh, don't you know?
Yes, I think I do. Take that telegram to Jimmy. Let him read it for himself. There's nothing like good news to patch up a lover's quarrel. Now run along and find Jimmy and tell him.
I just don't get it, man. Jimmy's on his way to Florida. You mean he hasn't told you?
Florida? No. No, he didn't tell me, Doc.
Yeah. I'm leaving myself tomorrow.
Well, why Florida?
Oh, it's that new act he's working on, flying machines. Jimmy and that Bud Williams guy.
Oh, I see. Well, tell him if he finds time that he might drop me a postcard.
Yeah, that dumb Bostonian.
Tell him he can find me at the New York Hippodrome. Good luck, Jock.
Annette Kellerman, performing in the huge tank on the stage of the Hippodrome, was a spectacular success. My one hope was that she'd stay with us.
I don't have to read the new contract, Alfred. If you think I should sign, just give me a pen. I'd work at the Hippodrome for almost nothing.
Well, I assure you, you won't be working for nothing, Annette. You've been wonderful.
Thank you, Alfred.
I'm giving a little supper party for Pavlova Saturday night after the show. Can you come?
Well, may I let you know later?
That means no, doesn't it? Annette, don't you ever go out?
Never?
Oh, hello, Dad. I'll be ready in a moment.
I'm trying to persuade your elusive daughter to come to a party, Mr. Kellerman.
Of course you'll go. It'll do you good, darling. Besides, orders are orders. Mr. Harper is now my boss, too.
Your boss?
Well, I've asked your father to work with our orchestra next season. We can use his kind of talent here, you know.
Dad, that's wonderful.
You see, we've got to keep the Kellermans happy. The man in the box office told me that.
Oh, Dad, the two of us working together, I couldn't be happier.
Couldn't you? I've got a report on Jimmy Sullivan, dear. After Florida, he went to New Orleans with a wrestling bear. Then to Chicago with some sort of concession that closed last month.
And now? Where is he now?
They don't know.
Oh, Dad, I've just got to find him. That argument we had was so stupid and silly. But this whole thing, the Hippodrome, it was all Jimmy's idea.
Just don't confuse love and loyalty. You owe nothing to anyone, and Jimmy knows it.
Does he?
He wants to make good without Annette Kellerman. He knows you don't need him.
But I do need him, Dad.
He'll come to you when he has something to offer, but not before. The only thing you can be sure is that he'll be trying.
I came to know Annette well as the months went by. It was so easy to fall in love with her. But I never knew for sure just where I really stood, if she'd forgotten Jimmy Sullivan or not. It was about at this time that a great sorrow came into Annette's life, the sudden death of her father.
It's right here, Jimmy, here in the newspaper. Says he died while he was conducting the orchestra at the Hippodrome.
He was a wonderful man, Doc. He never did get his conservatory.
Look, why don't you go and see it?
No, and I don't want to talk about it.
Okay.
But come on, we've got to finish overhauling the engine.
Jimmy, look, about this airplane business, if you're not really serious about flying across the country now, are you?
You bet your life I am. If I ever get this egg crate off the ground, we're going to hit pay dirt.
I hope that's all we hit.
Yeah. Now, hand me the rest.
Annette?
I'll be with you in a moment, Alfred.
Nothing important. Fred just told me there's someone here to see you at the stage door.
Oh, who is it?
Oh, I really don't know.
You seem very absorbed in that newspaper, Alfred. What's so interesting?
Oh, I'm sorry. Here, look at the headline.
12 aviators to start coast-to-coast flights. Oh, that's quite a start.
$50,000 in prizes. Poor fellows. They'll all be killed. Well, shall I tell Fred you're busy?
Oh, the man at the stage door. No, I'll see who it is.
Oh, boy, what a dressing room. Well, I can't say you don't deserve it, Annette.
Come on in, Doc. Tell me all about yourself. I was never so surprised to see anyone in my life.
Well, I hate to bother you, Annette, but, well, somebody's got to torture me out of doing it.
Doing what?
That bug house air race. He's got his eye on that $50,000 pot, and
You mean Jimmy's going to fly to California?
Well, he's going to try. And you should see and watch.
But, Doc, he's no flyer.
That's what I've been telling him. But you know Sullivan. I just thought maybe there was something you could figure out.
Oh, well, when does he plan to start?
Any time now. Perhaps tomorrow if the weather's right. We're out there at Montauk Point, so maybe...
Doc, I've got a performance tonight.
Yes, I know.
Well, don't worry. I'll be out there. I'll think of something.
Thanks.
Oh, and I'm so grateful you came to tell me.
Just don't let him know. I'm in trouble enough now.
All right, I won't, Doc. Thanks again.
Annette was at Montauk Point early the next morning. Jimmy was just about to take off.
Hey, I'm flying, Mr. Sullivan. You must have crawled under the rope to want me to get rid of her.
Get rid of her? Why, this is a very famous personality, Annette Kellerman, the well-known lecturer.
Jimmy Sullivan, I don't care what happens to you, but Doc is a friend of mine, and I forbid you to take him on this flight.
You see what I mean? Greatest lecturer of her day.
You heard me, Jimmy.
Well, that's sweet of you, baby, but you don't have to worry about Doc. He's not leaving the ground. He's driving the repair car.
That's me, Annette. Still the guy in the rowboat.
You all ready, Mr. Sullivan?
Right.
Jimmy, please don't force me to take drastic action.
Drastic action? Why, I've never forced you to do anything, honey, remember?
Okay, Doc, let's get her started.
Mr. Glover, please.
Yes, ma'am. You James Sullivan? Well, here's a summons for you, Mr. Sullivan. Your flying machine has been attacked. Look, go away. Sorry, it's a court order. Court order for what? Non-payment of money owed to Annette Kellerman.
That's right. And don't look so surprised. I had an accounting of all the books when you ran the concession at Revere Beach. There's a personal item marked $200, and you can explain it in court.
Oh, that. Well, I'm sorry, honey. Here's the item in question. It's a diamond ring. You can sell it somewhere.
Okay, Doc, turn it over.
Thanks for trying, honey.
Clear the field. Clear the field, lady.
You're on stage in 5 minutes, dear.
Yes, I know.
Still reading the newspaper. Well,
there's nothing new, Alfred.
I'll say one thing for this air race. It certainly captured the attention of the country, to say nothing of yours.
I'm sorry.
You want very much for him to win, don't you?
Well, of course, I mean.
You figure he'll have $50,000. He can come to you, carry you off in a white Charger. All very simple. The American success story. Darling, I know how importantly this man looms in your life, but do allow me the privilege of criticizing my competition. Maybe he will win. I hope he does. But it still won't work. You're a big league. And Sullivan, he's a will-o'-the-wisp. Looking for that fast dollar, the big ballyhoo that'll make him a 7-day wonder. It probably isn't news to you that I love you very much. What's important is that I think I can make you happy. Will you marry me, Annette?
Alfred, believe it or not, this is the very first marriage proposal I've ever had. It's a little overpowering.
Too overpowering to give me a quick yes, huh?
Well, can I wait until after the show?
You can wait as long as you want to, darling. I'll be around when you're ready to tell me.
All right, then, dear. Tonight.
But once again, Jimmy Sullivan crossed our paths. During the show, a telegram arrived for Annette from Doc. Jimmy had crashed. He wasn't badly hurt, but they'd taken him to a hospital. Annette put through a phone call immediately.
I didn't even talk to him, Alfred. He'd already left the hospital.
Really?
They patched up his arm and he left.
Where did he go?
Well, they don't know. All they know is that, well, he's gone.
I suppose Annette forgot all about my proposal and the answer I was waiting for. In a way, I couldn't blame her. Some months later, shortly before Christmas, a friend of mine from Hollywood dropped by, a movie producer named Garvey.
It's a great challenge, Harper, and a wonderful new medium. If you could only persuade her to come out there.
Well, haven't you talked to Annette about it?
Well, no, I thought you were handling her affairs.
Well, don't let that fool you. I advise her, but she's the lady who makes up her own mind. Hollywood. Might be a good idea for her. Might even be a good change for me.
For you?
No, sorry, I was just thinking out loud. Well, suppose I asked her now.
She's here?
Yes, she's giving a little Christmas party this morning. Kids from the Children's Hospital. Come on, we'll both ask her.
Well, I wish I could, but I'm supposed to meet my wife. Let me know what she says, will you?
I'll call your hotel. Looks like a wonderful party, Annette.
Oh, hello, Alfred.
Only I'm a little jealous. Everybody seems to get a Christmas present but me.
Poor Alfred. Well, what would you like?
Most of all, I'd like an answer to a question I asked you last June.
Oh. Well, it's yes, darling. The answer is yes.
We left for Hollywood not long after. We had some wonderful plans. Annette would make her picture, then we'd be married and sail to Australia on our honeymoon. In New Mexico, a man came aboard the train. We ran into him in the diner.
So good to see you, Jimmy. You got over your accident, I see.
That? Oh, yeah, long ago. Doc and I, we've been out west.
Oh, and everything's all right, huh?
Well, naturally. Everything's fine. I read where you two are going to be married. Congratulations.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Yeah, it's a great idea. About time you started raising a family of little swimmers.
We're not taking the big jump until Annette finishes her picture.
Oh, you're making a picture, huh?
Uh-huh.
Well, as a matter of fact, I'm going to Hollywood, too.
Well, if we can be of any help...
Oh, thanks. But I've got a few contacts myself. Well, will they see my new star? Well, nice seeing you. Lots of luck to you both.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Annette went right into her picture. There was no word from Jimmy, and I quite forgot about him. One morning at the studio...
Well, Harper, with any luck, we'll finish the picture today. You know, Annette's been wonderful. Now, if I could only persuade you two to postpone getting married, there's another picture I'd like.
No. We're leaving here tonight.
I can't say that I blame you. Annette in her dressing room?
You ready for her?
Well, if you don't mind telling her, we'll be all set in about 10 minutes.
This is the big moment, eh? The scene in the tank?
Oh, greatest scene in the whole picture?
I'll tell her. She'll be ready when you want her.
Thank you. How about it, Frank? Thanks, Mr. Garvey. Everything's ready. Just keep that water pouring in. Holding 50,000 gallons now. Well, can't we raise the level? Well, it's glass, you know. Pretty solid, but why take chances? I guess you're right. Well, let's get those cameras set up.
Well, this is it, sweetheart. Garvey says you'll be finished right after this scene.
You've been very patient, Alfred.
I suppose. I've never been more impatient in my life. What are you looking for? Did you lose something?
Well, I must have dropped it on the floor here.
What is it?
Oh, it's just sort of a good luck charm. It's a ring that I...
Oh, this ring?
Oh, yes. Thank you, darling.
It's more like an engagement ring.
Well, I've been wearing it whenever I perform. It's silly, isn't it?
No, not if it makes you feel any better.
Ready, Miss Kellerman.
I'll be right there, Frank.
One take and we'll be on our way out of here.
Well, keep your fingers crossed. See you soon, dear.
This was a big scene, an underwater ballet beautifully staged. Everything seemed to be going fine when suddenly Frank lurched up.
Thank Mr. Garvey. Huh? The glass is cracking. Get her out of there. It's going to split wide open. Get Miss Kellerman out of that tank. Hurry. The glass is breaking.
But they had no time to get her out. The water roared out of the shattered tank, and Annette was catapulted through the broken glass.
I've been here at the hospital every day, Mr. Harper. They won't let me see her.
Yes, the nurses have mentioned how attentive you've been.
Well, how is she? Did they operate?
Morning. We'll know very shortly now.
Mr. Harper, before you go up, I'd like to talk to you.
Oh, this is Mr. Sullivan, Dr. Vance.
How do you do, Mr. Sullivan? He's resting comfortably.
That's all you can tell me.
We know nothing for certain, Mr. Harper, except that Miss Kellerman's spine suffered a severe blow, what we call a spinal cord hematoma. We relieved the pressure. Fortunately, there was no severance of the nerve tracts, but she'll have to face the fact that she may not have the use of her legs for quite some time.
Does she know about this?
She insisted on knowing before the operation. I'd rather she didn't have any visitors right now.
Later?
Of course.
Oh.
Mr. Harper, whatever is humanly possible to do for her, we'll do. The rest is up to Miss Kellerman.
Yes, I know we're in very capable hands. Check with you later in the day.
Annette?
Jimmy.
Well, maybe I shouldn't be here, honey. The nurse told me you were asleep.
Oh, Jimmy. I'm so glad to see you.
You're looking swell.
Oh, I'll be up and running in no time at all.
Oh, that's great.
It's just a sprain or some such thing. How's your picture coming along?
Oh, it's all finished. They're taking a print to New York tonight.
Oh, I've been hearing about it. I hear it's just wonderful. Imagine starring a dog. What's his name?
Rin Tin Tin.
What a funny name. Is it Chinese?
French.
Oh, Jerry.
Annette, darling, please. Oh, baby, don't let it catch you, please. The doctor, he may know medicine, but there are a lot of things about people he doesn't know. He doesn't know about a little girl with braces back there in Australia. They told her the same thing, too. He doesn't know how she hobbled every day to the water, learning to swim before she could walk. How she became the greatest swimming star in the whole world. Oh, there are a lot of things that doctors don't know, honey, including what I once told you. Wet, you're terrific. Dry, you ought to marry some guy and settle down. Well, I just wanted to tell you that you're going to beat this thing. You and Harper together. He's a terrific guy, honey.
Unlucky is a better word.
Alfred.
Jimmy's right, darling. You'll beat this thing, sure. The way you've beaten everything else. And as for you...
I know I shouldn't be here, but I had to see you.
That's not what I was going to say. I don't know why you should get this kind of a break. You don't rate it. You struck gold once, and you never had the sense to stake a claim. You're a crazy, vagabond Irishman with both feet firmly planted in midair. But you're what the doctor ordered. Just you see that you make her happy, that's all.
Alfred.
Goodbye, darling. You'll be up and around soon and rehearsing a new act. And when you do, remember, I'm holding you to your contract with the Hippodrome. Oh, Jimmy, this ring, they were keeping it downstairs in the hospital safe. Thank you. Well, I'll see you at the Hippodrome.
How did he know about this ring?
It belongs to me. It took a court order before I got it the first time. And I can do it again if I have to.
I don't think you'll have to, darling.
Here they are, after $1 million worth of entertainment. Esther Williams and Walter Pitch.
$1 million worth? That is now my contract for tonight, Reed. How about
James Sullivan, William Johnstone as Mr. Kellerman, Eddie Marr as Doc, Joe Kearns as Garvey, Barney Phillips as the prosecutor, Will Wright as the judge, Herb Butterfield as the doctor, and Fred Mackay, Robert Griffin, Issa Ashdown, James Vassar, and Ken Christie. Our radio play was adapted by S.H. Barnett, and our music was composed and directed by Rudy Schrager.
Lux presents Hollywood. The Lux Radio Theater brings you Disputed Passage, starring Alan Ladd, Akim Tamirov, and Ann Richards. Ladies and gentlemen, your guest producer, Mr. Brian Ahern.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. One of the world's outstanding men of medicine, Sir William Osler, said at the peak of his career, "Nothing in life is more wonderful than fate, the one great moving force which we can neither weigh in the balance nor test in the crucible." Sir William was a man of fact and research, a tireless searcher after scientific truth. Yet he never ceased to admit the existence of forces greater than his scalpel could reveal. Tonight's Lux Radio Theater play disputes this passage, or rather puts it to the test in one of the screen's most moving stories, from Lloyd Douglas' great book, Disputed Passage. It comes to us from Paramount Studios, producers of the current Technicolor hit Bring on the Girls. Among our stars tonight is Alan Ladd, a gentleman who got his acting start in radio and who has since gone places, not only in pictures, but on the stage of the Lux Radio Theater. You heard him a year ago in Casablanca. Before that, he appeared for us in China, and last spring in Coney Island. I think you'll agree that's covering a lot of ground. Alan is busy at Paramount now in a picture called Salty O'Rourke, in which he goes back to the type of role that made him famous, the gun-toting, swashbuckling man of action. Co-starred with Alan on our stage tonight is the versatile character actor Akim Tamirov, playing his original screen role as Dr. Forster. Also a newcomer to this stage, but for many years Australia's top film favorite, Miss Ann Richards, as charming to look at as she is to listen to. Disputed Passage takes its title from lines by a favorite American poet, Walt Whitman, who argued that wisdom could best be acquired through challenge and dispute, instead of blind agreement or acceptance. I think that goes for little things as well as big. Certainly we would rather you put Lux Flakes to the test yourself than blindly accept whatever we may say about them. And I think it's because so many people have put Lux Flakes to the test that today they are serving in so many homes, lightening household chores and helping families to take better care of things they wear, so they'll last longer and look better, too. Well, now the clock points to curtain time, and here's the first act of Disputed Passage, starring Alan Ladd as John Bevan, Akim Tamirov as Dr. Forster, and Ann Richards as Audrey. Some 15 years ago, at one of our larger medical colleges, a group of new young students, nervously excited, file into their first class in surgery. They know the significance of the moment. It marks more than the start of their careers. It is their introduction to the almost legendary figure who will rule their lives for the next 4 years. Their teacher, Dr. Max Forster.
Well, where's Forster? What's the idea of keeping us waiting like this, anyway?
Don't worry. You'll see so much of Forster, you'll hate the sight of him.
Who says so?
About every guy who's ever studied under him. He's a sarcastic, egotistical heel. And for your information, I'm ducking the eminent Dr. Forster every chance I get.
Yeah, well, he's still the greatest surgeon in the world.
He'd have to be 4 times as good to make up for what he put you through. You'll find out, Bevan. You'll find out.
Hey, pipe down. Here he comes.
Sit down, sit down. This is a classroom, not a ballpark. Well, it is indeed a pleasure to welcome so goodly a number of our acquaintance hour. For reasons known only to yourselves, you have elected to study the science of medicine. All right? But get this through your heads. You are no different than any other class of beginners in any other medical school. Your own opinions to the contrary. And remember, I will not tolerate indifference or incompetence. At least 60% of you will prove so completely stupid that you will be asked to leave for the protection of the general public. Only 10% of you, by the time the diplomas are passed around, will there be meager evidence of superiority. And it is to that 10% I now speak. From this small group will come the pure scientist in whose life there is room for nothing but science. Someone, someday, will tell us what we want to know about cancer. Someone will give us the cure for infantile paralysis. If I may venture a prediction, the men who are to achieve these feats are already born. Perhaps they are experienced scientists on the eve of their discoveries. It also may be that they are students in some medical school. These men may be here in this room. All right, now, as I call your names, you will rise. Ralph Anderson.
Here, sir.
Well. Gentlemen, Mr. Anderson obviously is a candidate for specialization in surgery.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, since nature has seen fit to endow him with hands suitable only for stump pulling, he will no doubt elect to pursue a career requiring the greatest delicacy and skill. Sit down, Mr. Anderson. W. Bain.
Yes, sir.
I see the W does not stand for William.
My name is Winifred, Dr. Forster.
Winifred, is it indeed? And so you have decided to overcome the handicap of your sex and go out to do a man's work. Well, very well. No doubt you see yourself as some ministering angel in white, restoring joy and health to those fortunate enough to feel your cool hands upon their fevered brows.
I see no reason why I can't be a good doctor just because I'm a woman.
You don't? Well, perhaps you suffer from faulty vision, Miss Blaine. Sit down. John Wesley Bevan. Kindly stand up. Stand up, John Wesley. Let the congregation see you.
Yes, sir.
The records here indicate that you came from a righteous little college engaged in the manufacture and disbursement of preachers.
That's right, sir.
Mm-hmm. Well, you will be interested to know we have a standing reward here for any dissection that proves the existence of a soul.
How much is the prize, sir?
I shall be glad to sign the check, Brother Bevan, and let you fill in the figures. As a son of faith, you doubtless believe in the hereafter.
Well, it's a theory, sir, that science hasn't yet disproved.
You will understand one thing right now. Science concerns itself with facts, not metaphysics. You will find no interest here in a churchman's views on anatomy and pathology.
I can quite understand that, sir. Any more than a scientist's viewpoint would be of any interest on religion.
I trust, Brother Bevan, you will not be long in learning that rhetoric belongs in the pulpit, not the laboratory.
I had always supposed that, sir, until now.
Now, quiet! If there's any more of this moronic laughter, I'll dismiss the class. All right, Mr. Bevan, that will do for now. Alexander Claxon. Alexander Claxon!
Look out. Don't let that door slam.
Oh, for Pete's sake, Johnny, get your nose out of that microscope.
Oh. Hi, Andy.
I've been looking all over for you.
Well, I told you I'd be in the lab.
In case you hadn't heard, Christmas vacation started today.
Yeah.
And you said you'd come home with me.
Well, Andy, I just can't go.
Oh, will you cut it out? Now, come on, I'll help you pack.
I can't leave. I've been waiting 5 days to find out how a piece of live tissue reacts to contact with a Lithium dose of X-ray.
You have? Well, I'll show you how live tissue reacts when it comes in contact with roast turkey.
I'll take a rain check on that.
What are you trying to do? Please, Forster, you couldn't impress that egomaniac if you won the Nobel Prize.
Yeah, but he's still the greatest surgeon in the world.
Oh, how can you say that after the beating you've taken? He's been riding you all term.
Go on, you'll miss your train.
Okay, Johnny. Sorry. I hope you and Forster have a dandy time together. You can eat each other for Christmas dinner. So long.
So long, Andy.
Where's Johnny?
Inside the microscope. Where are you going?
Oh, stick around. You might find out what happens when a person blows up spontaneously.
Forster, huh? You too. Well.
Oh, I'm so mad I
Talk
could
to the research man. I'm a social butterfly. So long.
Hey, not going home?
Home? Of course not. Dr. Forster doesn't believe in holidays. He just slapped 4 of my anatomy drawings back in my face. I've got to do them over.
Well, what of it? They're not right.
Look, Bub, I'm 23 years old. Maybe not good-looking, but not too bad. And I haven't had a date or put on an evening dress or even danced in 4 months. Nothing that I could remotely enjoy. And now, well, why couldn't he wait till after the holidays for his stupid old drawings?
Hey, wait a second. You don't have to cry about it.
Oh, who's crying? Why, he couldn't make me cry if... Oh, it's no use. Got a spare shoulder I could borrow.
Oh, sure. Now, look, Winnie, it's just that...
Your unselfish devotion to scientific labors, both of you, is most commendable. May I suggest that a bench in the park might offer better facilities for your present type of research? Get out of here.
Okay, I'll get out. You bet your boots I'll get out.
Hey, what are you doing?
You've got eyes, Brother Bevan. And so far as I'm concerned, Lincoln just signed that proclamation. This slave's going out and celebrate her freedom. Come on, let you and I get stiff.
Winnie, I can't go.
Do I have to draw you a diagram? You and I are going on a party.
Do me a favor. Find someone else, will you?
You don't want to go?
You don't know how I want to go. But these experiments cost money, and if I leave them now,
You mean this is more important to you than...
Sister, in about 42 minutes, something's going to happen in that test tube that I've been waiting a good many days to see.
I get it. Or do I? Well, one of us is going to miss an awful lot in life, Johnny. And I'll give anybody 10 to 1 it won't be me. How about a date for next Christmas?
Swell.
Oh. Do you realize there are 3 more Christmases before we get out of this reform school?
Yeah, that's the trouble. There's not enough time. In 4 years, how can you learn what it's taken...
Talking like he talks. Like Foster.
Oh, am I? I didn't mean to. I'm just scared, Winnie. Scared that they'll hand me that diploma. I won't be ready to take it. It'll be here before we know it.
To all second-year medical students. Following midterm examinations, the students listed below have been placed on the honor roll. Alberto Fioretti, chemistry. Watson Shelby, materia medica. John Wesley Bevan, surgery and medicine. Joseph Morgenstern.
From Dr. Max Foster to all third-year medical students, from January 4th to 17th, all laboratory sessions will be in charge of John Wesley Bevan. Anyone failing to attend these sessions will be held accountable to the dean of the university. Well, how do you like that, Bevan?
Well, why not? Well, why not? Because Forster hates Bevan, that's why not.
Well, he's top man in the class. Forster had to choose him.
Whether they hate each other or not, Bevan's no different now than Forster. He had a heart when he came here 3 years ago. It's gone now.
Yeah, all work and no feelings. Forster's made a convert, all right. The pure scientist.
Commencement exercises, College of Surgery and Medicine, will be held June 3rd on Hadley campus. Principal speaker, Dr. William Cunningham, Carlisle General Hospital, Shanghai. Gabriel Award for Best Scholastic Record, John Wesley Bevan. Valedictorian, Thomas Layton.
Yes, gentlemen. 35 years ago, when doctors received their diplomas, they didn't have to know so much. Still, the job we've done hasn't been too bad. I think, for the most part, that's been due to a power greater than our own. You'll learn something of that power sooner or later. It has nothing to do with science. It has everything to do with humanity. In your years here, you've worshipped at one shrine, science. And that is as it should be. But you'll find an even holier shrine.
How do you feel, Dr. Anderson?
Never felt better, Dr. Bevan. How do you feel?
Fine, Doctor.
Then pipe down. I want to hear Cunningham.
Why? He's not a doctor. He's a missionary. And a pretty dull one at that.
Cure the ills of a body and leave the soul in torment. You cannot cure the ills of a body and leave a soul in torment. That is all 35 years have taught me. And for what it's worth, I pass it on to you. Thank you, gentlemen, and good night.
Thank you, Dr. Cunningham. Now there remains the awarding of one special award. Dr. Max Forster.
I'm sure you will realize that the warm atmosphere of brotherly love engendered here by Dr. Cunningham has nothing to take. I'm asking John Wesley Bevan to hold forth in the laboratory for the coming year as my assistant. Do you accept the appointment, Dr. Bevan?
Yes, sir. Like you, I recognize the ship is more important than the crew. Thank you, sir.
Hey, Johnny.
Oh, hello, Andy. Well, leaving for home today, huh?
Yeah. What's your hurry?
I got to see Forster.
I wanted to say goodbye, John.
All the best, Andy. Lots of luck.
Thanks. What about you?
Well, you know about me. I've started already teaching summer classes.
Yeah, that's what I really wanted to talk to you about.
Huh?
Those kids, Johnny, they're squawking. They'll take it from Forster because he's Forster, but they won't take it from you. You're too rough on them.
What do you want me to do, hold their hands and tell them how wonderful they are? Nobody ever held mine or yours either.
But look, Johnny, these kids aren't scientific experiments. They're human beings who've come here to study.
All right, then let them study and stop their grousing. There isn't time for both.
Okay. Well, I'll drop you a line, Johnny.
What's that? It's in Forster's office. Come on, Andy. Sounds to me like somebody's getting murdered.
Yes, I'm all right now. Where's Anderson?
Taking your sparring partner to his car. I must have hit Carpenter harder than I meant to. All right, what happened?
Carpenter? You know, Carpenter?
Yeah, sure. You bounced him out of school last year, didn't you?
Certainly I threw him out. What good was he? A football player who broods a year about his failure and then comes back to beat me up. A man 30 years his senior.
Didn't do a bad job, did he?
Evan, I don't like this joke.
Gonna press charges?
No. Maybe I should to protect society. If I kept Carpenter from being a doctor, that was one crime against society I was able to prevent. No. I want this thing kept quiet, Evan.
Yes, it would never do to let on that the great Dr. Forster got his ears beaten off.
What do you mean by that?
You might give other students some ideas. You nauseated?
A little.
Want to throw up or lie down?
No. Well, I'll just sit down. Fortunate you arrived when you did. He would have killed me.
You had a good licking coming to you for a long time, if you don't mind my saying so.
Then why did you stop Carpenter?
It so happens there are a lot of things you know that I don't. I've got to get them out of you.
That's the most cold-blooded remark I've ever heard.
Knowing how you despise sentimentality, I'm flattered.
Yes, of course. Fortunately, I now have a use for you also. There's a case coming here tomorrow. Repair job. Some patient of Brother Cunningham's come from China with him.
What sort of a case?
Well, some time ago, the patient suffered a bullet wound in the right arm. Penetrated the medial aspect with seemingly no impairment of function. Understand?
Medial nerve?
Yes. A few months ago, a pain developed. Not in the hand, but in the arm. An operation was performed, but no relief.
What happened? Adhesions liberated without uniting the nerve?
Probably. Anyway, another operation is necessary. The hand is now so sensitive that the pain is almost unendurable.
Sounds as if the nerve fibers have grown up, producing an aroma.
Good. Very good. That's very good. You'll operate at 10 o'clock.
Me?
Why not? Afraid you cannot do it?
No, I was only surprised you'd be willing to step aside.
Oh, my fingers. Now, look, when I fell.
Oh, I see. Why didn't you say something?
It doesn't matter, just a sprain. But I cannot operate.
Here, I'll tape it up. Better have an x-ray.
No, it said it was just a sprain. And as for Cunningham's patient, get it through that thick skull of yours that I'm interested in only one thing, good surgery. Who performs it doesn't matter. And now, tape up his fingers.
The patient's inside, Dr. Bevan.
Oh, thanks. Oh, good morning. I just wanted to tell you that, Oh.
Good morning.
Oh, I beg your pardon. I wasn't expecting to see a girl.
Where is Dr. Foster? Dr. Cunningham told me he was to operate.
Well, he hurt his fingers yesterday, and I'm afraid that he...
Oh, I see. It is you who will operate?
Well, with your permission, of course. Dr. Forster didn't tell me that, I think the bullet would I...
I'm a speaking doctor. There's no need to talk to the patient and to untranslate. You are in good hands, Miss Hilton. I have explained to Dr. Cunningham about my automobile accident.
Oh, I am sorry. Please do not think me difficult. It is quite all right.
Then we'll proceed. Nurse?
Yes, Dr. Forster.
Call surgery. Dr. Bevan will operate at 10 o'clock.
This supper will be here in a few minutes, Miss Hilton. Well, how's the arm?
The hand, it is much better, but the arm, it is still very painful, Doctor.
Oh, that's fine.
I'm glad it pleases you. I'm myself not delighted. Won't you sit down?
Thanks. I'm afraid I haven't time to visit.
But the pain, you have not told me why.
Well, your arm hurts simply because of the operation, but the hand is better because we've removed a tumor from the nerve.
Oh, I see.
The bullet almost severed the nerve. You must have suffered terribly.
Yes. There are many Chinese suffering from wounds these days.
Chinese?
I am Chinese. Did you not know?
Oh, but your name is Audrey Hilton. Your face. You're joking.
No, on the contrary, Doctor. My name, my face, they do not matter. It is inside that a person is what he is. I was born in China, educated in China. I did not leave China until a few months ago. Yes, I am Chinese.
But your parents?
American. But I never really knew them. They were killed when I was so young. My foster parents were Chinese. They're the only family I've ever known.
Well, I hope I said nothing to offend you.
Oh, no. Please do not think of it.
Well, you're doing fine, Miss Hilton. Another week like the past one, and you'll be playing tennis.
An American sport I have not yet acquired.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with tennis.
Oh, no. I already have succumbed to fishing. Dr. Cunningham taught me.
I'll have you know I was once the best hook and worm fisherman in the whole state of Wisconsin.
How long has that been?
Years ago.
You know, when you talk like that, you are a different person.
How do you mean?
Well, for a little moment, you are not the stern Dr. Bevan. I think it will be a great relief to you when I can leave here. You regret even these few minutes that keep you from your work.
This is my work. Part of it. Besides, I enjoy talking with you.
Excuse me, Dr. Bevan.
Yes.
Dr. Forster just called. There's an emergency at Centerville General Hospital. He wants to know if you can leave tonight.
Tonight? Oh, yeah. Tell him I'll go. I'll see him in a few minutes.
Yes, Doctor.
Centerville? That is not far from the Cunningham's place.
You'll be staying with them when you leave here?
Yes. Oh, I knew them many years in China. They're so kind to me. They have a wonderful place in the mountains on a lake. There is good fishing there, Doctor.
Yes, I guess there is. Well, excuse me, Miss Hilton. I'll see you when I get back from Centerville. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Doctor.
Centerville General Hospital. One moment, please. Centerville General Hospital. Dr. Spencer, hold the wire, please. Oh, Dr. Bevan.
Yes?
Dr. Foster's been calling you, sir. Shall I try to get him?
Oh, please. Can I take it here in the lobby?
Yes, Doctor.
Hello, Bevan.
Hello, Centerville General.
I heard you were in Centerville.
Dr. Cunningham.
Leaving?
Well, just about. Emergency here last night for Dr. Forster.
Lucky I caught you. I can't tell you how grateful I am. That was a wonderful job you did on Audrey's arm.
Oh, have you seen it?
I was down there yesterday.
No, I'm sorry I missed you.
I stopped by here to see if you couldn't come up to the lake. It's only a few miles.
Oh, thanks a lot.
Bass are biting now. And I hear you rather fancy yourself a fisherman.
Well, I sure do, but I've got to get right back. There are quite a few cases, then I've got my classes. Sorry, Doctor.
I'm sorry, too. Audrey will be very disappointed. We hope to see you at the lake.
Oh, Miss Hilton?
Yes.
Oh, but she's still in the hospital.
Oh, no. Forster sent her home yesterday. That's why I went down there.
Oh, he did, huh?
Yes. He seemed to think she might have left a few days ago.
Well, that's very interesting. What do you use for bait up at the lake, Doctor?
Well, to tell you the truth...
Dr. Bevan,
Yes?
I have Dr. Foster on the phone.
Yeah, and you can have him.
What did you say?
Oh, Tell Dr. Forster you're very sorry, but I just left town.
You left town?
Yeah, and you can tell Dr. Forster that I've gone fishing.
Act 2 of Disputed Passage will continue in a moment. Now, here's Libby Collins.
One of my friends said the other day, Libby, what makes a man fall in love with a woman and then stay in love? A lot of girls are asking that question these days. The answer isn't easy because love is made up of a lot of little things. But of one thing I'm sure. One great compelling quality is daintiness. Think about that for a minute. Isn't it true that girls who who are always dainty are usually the ones who have good times? Daintiness attracts a man and holds him. Daintiness is such an easy thing to acquire, too, and easy to keep. Lux Flakes do such a wonderful job of whisking away the day's perspiration from undies. Leave them sweet and fresh, so there's no danger then of offending. And Lux is so safe for your pretty things. It's mild and gentle, won't harm the nicest colors or fabrics. Just as safe as water alone. Why, do you know a famous laboratory made actual color measurements? They found that undies washed the Lux way stayed color fresh 3 times longer. Those washed with a strong soap, too hot water, and handled roughly looked drab and old very soon. You wouldn't think girls would abuse undies that way these days, would you? Well, if you want to keep your undies lovely longer, start luxing them tonight, and do it every night. Then you'll know they'll always be fresh and dainty, and keep their lovely new look longer.
Now, Brian Ahern returns to the microphone.
Act 2 of Disputed Passage, starring Alan Ladd as John, Hakim Tamirov as Dr. Forster, and Ann Richards as Audrey. For almost a week, John Bevan has lost himself in another world, a lazy world of freedom and quiet beauty and good fishing. As he walks with Dr. Cunningham back to the lodge, to the old doctor's other guest, Audrey Hilton.
I still can't get over the job you did on her arm. Remarkable work, John.
Oh, forget it. It was an interesting case. By the way, how did she get that bullet in her arm in the first place?
She hasn't told you?
No.
Her home was in the interior of China when the Japs came through in 1935. Well, I guess Audrey was lucky at that. She's alive. She's told you nothing of her background?
You mean about China?
Huh.
She's no more Chinese than my Aunt Minnie.
Well, Audrey thinks of herself as Chinese, and, well, that makes her Chinese.
She's an American. Would she marry a Chinese?
Well, you can't tell, but I don't think so.
You've known her long?
Since she was a child. Every year or so, I'd visit her home, her foster parents' home. At times, I think they loved Audrey even more than their own children. But they're all gone now, the old people and their children. Massacred. You can't blame her for wanting to return. She wants to help.
Return?
Yes. She didn't come to the States just for an operation. She's raising funds for China.
Oh, I see.
Well, here we are. Let me have those fish of yours. My turn to clean them.
But I've been away from this sort of thing so long, Audrey, it's hard for me to realize it exists beyond hardware store calendars.
What exists?
Oh, things like this. A lake in the moonlight, great tall pines, bass jumping, the works.
John, that telegram this afternoon.
I threw it away.
What did Dr. Forster want?
Me? Well, I'll leave Sunday night. You know, I haven't thanked you for getting Dr. Cunningham to ask me here.
I was surprised. I did not think you would leave your hospital.
You think I'm just a machine, don't you?
I think you may become one.
If there is a wall around me, it's because I deliberately built it.
Did you, or did Dr. Forster put it there?
Well, he started it. The first day when I came to his class, and later when I saw him work. And I thought I'd never seen anything so beautiful in my life.
So you decided to be just like him?
Oh, he talked to us. Told us what being a real scientist meant. There could be no room in life for anything but work. I hated Forster as a person. In some ways I still do, but what he stands for, that's different. Well, I swore that nothing would interfere ever with what he taught me to go after.
That explains so much.
How do you know what I'm talking about?
But I do know, because that's why we were drawn together. I, too, have a wall, but not of my own choosing. That is why we can be friends.
Audrey,
Yes?
what you said just now about our being drawn together,
I should not have said that.
I'm glad you did. It means so much to me. I want to ask you something.
You may ask me anything.
I want to kiss you. You wouldn't mind?
No.
My technique, it's pretty amateurish, isn't it? Audrey, what's wrong?
Nothing.
Of course there is. I act like a kid.
Oh, you will soon forget.
Yeah, but I don't want to forget.
Oh, yet you will. You will forget because you are seeking to avoid life. I shall remember because I am lonely and seeking to enter into it.
And you think that by accepting the unworthy friendship of a miserable doctor, you might feel less lonely?
I am sure of it. Provided the honorable friend of Lin Yang would not find her a nuisance.
Yeah? Who's Lin Yang?
That is my Chinese name. Sometimes I get so hungry to hear the sound of it.
Lin Yang.
Please. You will go back to your world and I to mine, but we shall be friends forever. Is it not so?
I hope so, Audrey.
What time is it?
Time? Oh, it's a little after 9. Why?
Because we must go back now. I am leaving tonight.
What are you talking about?
It is so. I am going to New York and to Washington.
You know, every now and then I begin to think I understand you, and then up comes something like this. Why didn't you tell me you were leaving?
Please, don't be upset. I have my work to do also. In my little way, I do what I can for the Chinese people.
Oh, I see.
Let us walk back now.
I'm sorry I'm late. I stopped in town to call Dr. Forster.
Audrey get off all right?
Mm-hmm.
Ma's gone to bed. Thought I'd have her last pipe out here on the porch. Sit down.
No, thanks. I'll be going back myself in the morning, Doctor.
Not very flattering, my boy. The minute Audrey's gone, you leave.
Well, I can't say that I won't miss her.
It's Forster, huh?
Yes, I'm afraid I let him down running off here like I did.
That's nonsense. You should have known Max when he was young, when I knew him. We lived together in Vienna. We had a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
Fun? Him?
Yeah, he was the happy-go-luckiest fellow you ever met. Until she died. Elsa.
Elsa?
Yeah, they were engaged. He went completely to pieces when she died. Nothing but a bad appendix. The doctors didn't know then what they know today. The bad diagnosis. She's dead in 2 days. That's why Max came to America.
Forster in love. You know, I didn't think it could be so human.
You don't suppose people are born that way, do you? I never knew a man to shut himself off from life without a reason. It's against nature. But Max has never changed. No, and I'm afraid he never will. Never.
Well, Brother Bevan, I hope you enjoyed your vacation. Did you catch any fish?
Several, thanks.
I'm surprised that a great humanitarian like Cunningham would indulge in such a cruel pastime as fishing. Or does he draw the line at the soul of a pickerel?
I don't know, sir. We were fishing for bass.
Now that you've had your little outing, you might get around to reporting on that case at Centerville. Successful?
Yes, except the man will never walk again.
That was to be expected.
I spoke to the superintendent about finding him a job in the hospital.
Why? Why? What business is it with yours?
None. I just felt like doing it.
You mean you talked it over with Cunningham and he impressed upon your mushy mind the notion that social uplift is more important than surgery?
As a matter of fact, I did mention it to him.
Yes, I thought so. Well, it may interest you to know that we are to have the benefit of his noble influence here, too. You've just been asked to lecture for the next term.
Oh, that's fine. Now, if you don't mind, I have a class of new pupils waiting for me.
Of course. Go ahead. Feed them on milk and water. Tell them what noble little knights they are. Yes, soften them up for Cunningham. Tell them all to be doers of good deeds and inferior doctors.
You'll find my classes conducted as they should be. When they're not, you can always have me fired. Hello? Hello?
Your call to Washington is ready, sir.
Oh, thanks. Hello? Audrey?
John, what is it? There is something wrong?
Oh, no, nothing, except I want to see. I've been trying to reach you all week, Audrey. Dr. Cunningham says you're leaving for China.
Yes, John, soon. I have been thinking that I must go.
Well, I've been thinking, too, Audrey, and I... I have to talk to you.
You cannot come to Washington?
Well, the hospital's pretty full. I don't know when I...
Well, would you like me to come to you? I could stop off on my way back, if that would be agreeable.
Nothing would be more agreeable.
It will be several days yet. I will send you a telegram.
That'll be wonderful, Audrey. I'll be waiting for you. I realize what an imposition this is, Abbott. Now, if you feel at all uncomfortable...
Please, Professor, it is a great honor for your humble student to cook. So, dinner?
Well, what about the dinner? Is it going to be okay?
Well, the dinner will be excellent if the professor's nose will permit him to eat it.
Pretty smart, aren't you, Abbott?
Well, someday, perhaps. Not now.
Hey, look, I've been meaning to ask you this for days. Where did Chinese like you get the name of Andrew Abbott?
Why, I observe the students in your classes are seated alphabetically, so which places the A's nearest the professor? The Chinese like to be close to the fountain of wisdom. Also,
yeah?
Being close, the tendency is to be called on first for answers. I have observed that if the first person asked a question answers incorrectly, the professor is not as furious as when the third person fails. That is why I am Andrew Abbott, sir. Now, if I may retire to your kitchen, sir, I suggest you welcome your guests.
But you should not have served a Chinese dinner, John. You see, now I am homesick.
You liked it?
Oh, it was perfect. But you did not tell me you had a Chinese cook. I've been talking with him. He has the accent of a cultured gentleman.
He's one of my students. He volunteered to help me out.
How is he called?
Andrew Abbott. But if he hadn't liked his cooking, I was going to change his name to Zabisco.
I fear I do not understand.
Just a private joke between Abbott and me. You surprised me, too, Audrey.
Did I?
That's the clothes you're wearing.
This is how I dressed in China. And since you are the person with whom I am most comfortable, I wanted to dress in the clothes in which I am most myself.
Thank you. Forgive me if I stare, but you're beautiful. You don't know what it means to me to have you here.
I had two reasons for coming. I wanted to see you and where you live.
It's not very much, is it?
Oh, very neat, very masculine. John, at dinner you started to tell me about Dr. Foster.
Oh, yes. Well, it wasn't until Dr. Cunningham told me about Foster, about what happened to him after his fiancée died, that I realized what a fool I'd been. There's really no conflict between science and life. It was Foster's bitterness that deceived me. He's just trying to alibi his own frustrations. Thanks to you, I see that now.
I'm glad you feel more kindly toward the world.
I'm not thinking of the world. I'm thinking of us.
You have been thinking of others, too. Dr. Cunningham wrote me that what you did for that man in Centerville, the one who cannot walk.
Oh, Audrey, don't you see, dear? This is all you're doing. 6 months ago, I wouldn't have bothered my head about that man once the operation was finished.
But you would if you had known.
Yes, if I'd known you, been in love.
No, do not say that.
I must say. I tried hard not to fall in love with you, Audrey. I fought against it at the start, and then quite suddenly I knew that was my salvation. I love you. I want you here always. I want to marry you.
That cannot be, and you must realize that. Our lives are so completely foreign, so different.
Well, it can't matter if we love each other.
No, please. I must have a chance to think.
What is it to think about?
Remember, I once told you I, too, had a wall that kept me from you.
What is it?
A promise. A solemn promise that is not yet fulfilled.
What is it? If you could only tell me, maybe I could...
No, I cannot tell you. It is my own problem, and I have to work it out myself.
In China?
I thought so when I came here tonight, but perhaps not. I think I shall return again to Washington.
But how long will it... Oh, I'm sorry. Excuse me, wait, please. Hello? Yes, this is Bevan. I see. Blood count? Why did you wait? All right, get him into surgery. Call Jackson. I'll be right over. Now, you see, dear, that's what your life would be. I've got to leave Audrey Hospital. Will you wait for me?
No, but I should like to stay here until it is time to go.
You'll go back to Washington?
Yes. But one promise I will give you. If ever I do come back here, it will be to stay.
Goodbye, darling. For a little while.
For a little while, yes. I, too, hope so.
The ambassador will see you now, Miss Hilton.
Thank you.
Come in, please.
Oh, it is so good of you to see me, Your Excellency.
I'm happy to express my gratitude to the daughter of Sen Ling for her great accomplishment.
Excellency, it has been successful?
Yes, the money China so desperately needs is being loaned to us. Your work in New York is responsible. Sen Ling would have been very proud of his foster daughter.
Oh, you make it very difficult for me to ask the question that has brought me here.
I can help you?
Yes, because it has to do with Sen Ling. It brings back the picture of how I last saw him after Shanghai had been destroyed. It took me 3 days to reach our home. In the doorway I found Sen Ling and his family, what remained of them. As I stood there, I made a vow that so long as I had life, that life would be devoted to repaying the debt I owed to them. And now I come to ask you if my debt has been discharged. I must be sure that I have fulfilled my promise to him.
Your debt is discharged many times over. Your promise is fulfilled.
I thank you.
I knew what was in your mind when you were announced as Miss Hilton instead of Lan Ying. And that is as it should be. You realize at last that you are an American.
Yes. For the very first time.
And I hope he's a very nice young man.
Oh, how did you know?
What else could call you back to where you belong?
Yes. He is a very nice young man.
Hello, Max.
Oh, come in, Cunningham, come in.
Seen Bevan today?
This morning?
No, that boy's very fond of you.
Bevan? Bevan is fond of no one. He doesn't know what emotion is. And besides, I suppose you leave Bevan alone. We're getting along very well.
Actually, you're very fond of him, too.
Yes, promise.
Great promise. If nothing happens to hold him back.
Nothing will hold him back.
That's what I wanted to make sure of. It'd be a bitter blow if you turned against him.
What are you trying to say?
He's going to be married.
He what?
He called me a little while ago. Wants us to have dinner with him tomorrow night. Audrey Hilton will be back from Washington in the morning.
So that's it. That's it. I knew he'd been seeing the girl, but I had no idea he'd be such a stupid,
Now, just a
short-sighted...
minute.
No, I know. You think he's wonderful.
Of course I do.
Yes, of course you do. What difference does it make if the world loses a potentially great scientist so long as he's happy? Bevan needs at least 5 more years of training.
What makes you think he won't get it?
For the wife? He'll be out grabbing for money.
You're wrong, Max. He'll work harder than ever. A man doesn't always get a chance at real happiness. You, of all people, should know that.
And you should know to mind your own business. Now, let me alone.
Come in. Oh, it is good to see you, Dr. Foster.
Forgive me for coming to your hotel, but I wanted to see you alone.
I thought John would be with you. When I called the station, he said...
Yes, he was detained for a little while at the hospital. Miss Hilton, I came in hope that I may be frank with you.
If you will grant me the same privilege, Doctor.
Yes, agreed. I understand you plan to marry John Bevan.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. You realize, I suppose, that you are ruining a brilliant career, possibly one of the greatest.
I know your theories, and so does John. We do not believe them. Oh, I wish you could trust me. I will not hurt him or his career.
You have already hurt him.
But that is not true. How could I?
In the only way that it matters, his work. It has fallen off miserably since you first came
There is
here.
no reason for that.
There is every reason. No man can concentrate when his mind is beset with doubts, anxieties.
Doubts? But what doubts has he now?
Now think, Miss Hilton. Here is a man who chose a path for himself because he saw it would lead to a definite goal. Now, if you were in his position and you abandoned that path, wouldn't you be worried, fearful that you had done the wrong thing?
Yes. That I can understand.
I came here not to influence you, but to make certain things clear which perhaps you have not understood. The decision must be yours.
Mine and his.
Yours only. He had made 2 promises. One to himself and the other to you. And he will break the first before he breaks the second, for he thinks then he hurts only himself. But you and I, Miss Hilton, realizing what he could make of
If
himself...
you don't mind, Doctor, I think you have told me enough.
You are an intelligent woman, Miss Hilton. I beg you to think it over. Good day.
hold of yourself, John. You said she'd be here, and she will.
Why did she check into that hotel and an hour later check out?
Because she's probably coming here to your place.
Oh, I should have met that train, but Forster gave me such a stack of work that I couldn't.
That's probably Audrey now.
John Bevan?
Yes?
Telegram.
Oh, thanks.
Bad news?
We must follow our separate paths. You to your goal, and I to mine. Goodbye. It's signed Lan Ying.
We pause now for station identification. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System. In just a moment, our stars will return in Act 3 of Disputed Passage. Now, I know all you ladies are used to pinching pennies, so here's a bright new penny. Suppose you tell me what you could do with it.
Not much. Maybe get a picture postcard.
Or the stamp to go on it.
I could weigh myself on the drugstore scale.
Or get a penny stick of chewing gum, if they had any.
That's not much, is it? But you can do something really worthwhile with that penny. You can start getting rid of dishpan hands.
For a penny?
For less than a penny.
How?
By using Lux Flakes for dishes. It costs less than a penny a day to change dishpan hands to Lux hands. Just change from strong soaps to gentle Lux for dishes. Once you do, your hands begin to lose that red, rough dishpan look, sometimes as soon as the second day. Before long, your hands are soft and smooth and lovely again, and without using any creams or lotions. Tests proved it.
I knew Lux was kind of hands, but I had no idea that it would cost so little to use it for dishes.
Yes, Lux is really thrifty because it goes further. Ounce for ounce, Lux does up to twice as many dishes as any of 10 other leading soaps tested. Lux is a really inexpensive way to save your hands. So spend that penny to start changing dishpan hands to Lux hands. You can do it for less than a penny a day. Now, Brian Ahern returns to the microphone.
If you're as curious as I am to know a little more about tonight's stars, join us after the final curtain for a brief chat. And now, the third act of Disputed Passage, starring Alan Ladd as John, Akim Tamirov as Dr. Forster, and Ann Richards as Audrey. Three weeks have passed since Audrey Hilton's disappearance. Defeated and hurt, John Bevan has plunged into his work with even greater intensity than ever before. But his efforts show only an increasing mediocrity, and the first to notice it is Dr. Max Forster.
You sent for me?
2 hours ago. What in thunder's the matter with you, Bevan?
All right, what is it you want?
I want you to get hold of yourself. For all the use you are to me, you might as well be in Timbuktu. Moping around like a sick calf. I'm getting fed up.
All right, tell me what you want, and I'll do it. That's what I'm here for, but I don't have to listen to you.
Oh, you don't? Hearing straight, plain facts is a little too strong for you, is it? And I thought you had backbone. Well, I was wrong.
No, but that's impossible. You couldn't make a mistake.
I made one in you, and I admit it. The cold-blooded Dr. Bevan, a true scientist. Look at yourself, a sniveling pup, afraid to face life. By heaven, that girl had more stuff in her than you.
Girl? What girl?
What girl? What girl do you suppose? You might as well have married her.
Look at me. Did you talk to Audrey?
Take your hands off me.
Tell me while you got a chance. Did you get her to go away?
Yes. Yes, I talked to her. And she had more sense than you. She saw how stupid the whole thing was.
You swine, you cold-blooded little hypocrite. Talk about backbone. You think you're fooling me? You'd have been married now if you'd had the chance, but she died, didn't she?
Bevan.
And just because you couldn't be happy, you don't want to see anyone else happy. That's why you sit on your little tin throne and try to play God.
I did what was best for you. You were throwing away your life.
That's a lie. With her, I'll be everything I ever wanted to be, including a better man than you. Because I'll know something you never know. I'll know what's inside of people besides blood and bones and nerves. I'll know the thing inside that really matters.
Come back here. I'm not through with you.
Well, that's too bad, Dr. Foster, because I'm through with you. I've been your stooge long enough. I've done your dirty work, taken your abuse, but now I'm free. And I'm clearing out.
And where do you think you're going?
To find her.
Save yourself the trouble, Brother Bevan. The Hilton girl has gone back to China.
All right, then I'll go to China.
I don't want to sound discouraging, Doctor, but I'm afraid you'll be wasting your time.
I came to China to find her, and I'm not giving up now.
These are war times, Doctor. All means of communication with the interior are destroyed. If you do get there, Miss Hilton may be 1,000 miles away.
I traced her this far. Can you give me what papers I need?
I'll get them. You know the risks?
She went through, didn't she?
Very well. I'd arrange for horses and guides. Leave here tomorrow morning.
Quick, behind these rocks, Doctor.
Sure they're enemy planes, Kai?
We have no warplanes here. If they see us, they machine gun.
They didn't see us. They're going north.
Toward Shentin. We stop Shentin, Doctor?
Yeah, just long enough to feed the horses.
Our troops keep ammunition near Shentin. It is good we do not stay there. That is where Japanese planes go. Perhaps when we get there will be no Shentin. No horse, enough!
Oh, back to your
Bombers came, Doctor. This was village we call Shentin.
It's a slaughterhouse. Like a nightmare.
Perhaps we do better not to stop?
We've got to rest the horses. Tell your men. Wait, this place here, what is it?
I do not know.
Monsieur!
Yes?
You will pardon my amazement, monsieur, but I did not expect to see a white man.
Oh, can I get food for these horses?
And for yourself, monsieur. The hospital here is at your disposal.
Hospital? Where's the doctor?
Well, permit me, such as I am. My name is Lafayette.
Your arm?
The air raid. But I was fortunate. Only a fractured arm.
Well, if you'd care for me to look at it, I'm also a doctor.
A doctor? Oh, but this is God's mercy. Come in, monsieur. I beg you to come in. I have 40 wounded inside.
And you attempt to handle all these patients yourself?
Well, there's little choice. But I have 2 good nurses, Chinese. Thank you for looking at the old woman.
She'll be all right in a few days.
Monsieur, over here. There's a child, a little girl.
I'm sorry, Lafayette. I haven't time. I have to push on.
Ah, yes, of course. I understand. Well, I regret I cannot help you, but I've not heard of the girl you seek.
Maybe if I came back this way, I can stay longer.
Yes, of course.
What's the use? A few minutes more won't matter. Show me the child.
Oh, this one, monsieur. Her leg. We have not had time, and this arm of mine...
Here, let me see. It's broken.
Yes, monsieur. In 4 places, as best I can tell. I have no more x-ray.
Tell my guides to unsaddle the horses. I'll stay. Where's Ether, Doctor? Hurry, will you? That boy was hemorrhaging.
You can take off your gown, Doctor.
What do you mean?
The boy died an hour ago.
Oh.
Come inside. You must lie down. You have not been here.
Poor heavens. I don't make them...
What you do? Reassure them. What words could... monsieur, I am much interested in your technique. In all my experience, I have seen but one other man who uses instruments as you do.
Oh?
Yes. At the Sorbonne in Paris. I once studied there. The great Forster.
A few weeks ago, I was the assistant of the great Forster.
Monsieur, you are joking.
No. Nobody jokes about Forster.
Listen.
Planes?
Yes, Doctor. Planes and bombs.
They wouldn't bomb here again.
I'm afraid they will. They are trying to destroy an ammunition dump. They missed it yesterday. We've got to remove our patients, Doctor. There is a bomb shelter in the rear. Hurry, please.
Hello, Dr. Max Foster, please.
This is Dr. Forster. What is it?
Cablegram for you, Doctor.
Cablegram?
From China, Guangxi Province.
Read it.
John Bevan, wounded air raid. Shrapnel embedded in brain. Holds no hope. It is signed Basil Leferrier, Mission Hospital, Shentin.
Thank you. Nurse, Nurse!
Yes, Doctor.
Find out where Shentin is in China and the quickest way I can get there. I must get immediate reservations. Don't stand there. Hurry!
It is incredible you got here at all, Dr. Foster. But you cannot expect to do the impossible, even under the best conditions.
Bevan is dying, but he's still alive. We must do what must be done.
Operate here?
Of course.
Well, there's a Chinese doctor with him now, Dr. Chong. He can help you more than I. My arm.
Oh, yes. But you'll stand by. I may need you for a transfusion. Now, get your surgery ready. Lafayette.
Yes?
The girl, Miss Hilton. Did Bevan ever find her?
No. In his delirium before the coma, he asked for her so many times. We are trying to locate her.
You know where she is?
Under rumors. A village 100 miles up the river. There is talk of a white girl who drives an ambulance. A white girl with a Chinese name.
Send for her.
We have already. Perhaps she is the one he saw.
Now, we're wasting time. Start anesthetic. I'll be right in.
Pulse weakening, Doctor. Respiration 12.
Lafayette?
Yes.
Now, look. The course of the shrapnel, it was penetrated the frontal lobe. We shall find it about a fissure over lung.
There is nothing we can do.
Nothing? Can remove the pressure.
The patients inside, they are praying for him.
Let them pray. It will take their minds off of themselves. Light. Now, where's more light? If you were Bevan, Doctor, would you want prayers or my skill?
I would rather not answer that.
Well, retractors.
Hurry, Doctor. You must hurry.
Stop your stupid talk. My forehead. Wipe my forehead.
The pulse becomes weaker, Doctor.
Transfusion. Lafayette.
We are prepared. Fighty. Les bons mois.
30 minutes more. Perhaps less.
Less?
Yes. He may die. Pulse. Respiration.
The pulse is stronger, Doctor. Respiration 18.
Sponges, nurse. Now bandages. The operation is finished. He should have started 2 rally hours ago. The pressure was lifted.
There is still hope, Doctor. He holds his own.
I tell you, I cannot understand it.
You must not harass yourself. You operated under tremendous difficulties. In your own surgery with proper...
No. That's got nothing to do with it. The operation itself could not have been more successful no matter where it was performed. Whatever these 2 hands can do, they have done. But here he lies and... Oh, I'm helpless.
Yes. All that science can do has been done. Nothing can help Dr. Bevan now except himself.
Himself. And what does that mean? What can Bevan do? He's never come out of the coma.
There comes a time when we are all helpless women of medicine, when nothing can help except something inside the patient, the will to live. If there were some way to strike a spark
Save
within
your breath, please. I have no time to listen to talk of mystic powers.
Oh, no. I speak of nothing strange, monsieur. I speak only of his soul.
Doctor, do you hear? The planes again.
Planes? You cannot move him. Get me mattresses quick. Furniture, anything. Anything that might protect him.
Wait. It comes from the west. The Japanese never come from the west. Chong, look. It is a Chinese plane. It is landing.
A woman gets out. A woman.
What woman?
He's coming to us, gentlemen. It is Audrey Hilton.
But he waked him during the night. He knew me then. I'm sure he knew me.
Perhaps, Miss Hilton, perhaps. I hope so.
Oh, he's so white. He lies there as if he were... John, I am here. I am here to stay. Please don't leave me now, please.
Miss Hilton.
Can't you hear me, darling? Please come back. It is only a little way.
His eyes. He's opening his eyes.
John.
They close again. Still the coma.
Yes. Miss Hilton, there's nothing you can do. You should get some rest.
I will stay. He may waken. He may wake.
I must have dozed off. How's he?
He has not moved.
What's this? This is a blanket.
The dawn was cold. She put it about you.
Audrey?
Audrey. Look, he rouses. Doctor.
Stand aside.
Audrey, don't go.
No, my dear. I will stay always.
God. God in his infinite mercy.
Foster. Is that you?
Yes, John. Don't try to talk.
Shy.
Water.
No. It's too soon. Not yet.
I'm tired. So tired. Water. I sleep.
Sleep, my darling. The sun will be here when you wake. The sun and I.
The sun. And you.
Doctor.
All I could do, I did. It was not enough.
What are you saying? Look at him.
The shock was too much for any human.
But he's breathing. It is irregular.
Sometimes I think that perhaps... Lafayette, he's sleeping. Look, his face, the color returns. He will recover.
Thank God. Oh, thank God.
Audrey. Come here, Audrey.
You saved his life.
No, not I. Nor science. No, it was something beyond us. Audrey, I don't know if you can forgive me, either of you. But what I did to you both, I thought it was for the best. I wanted him to be as great as I knew he could be. Please try to believe it.
I believe.
I thought I had given him the greatest strength any man could know, science. But I have seen something even greater. Surely there is a God in the heavens, for I have seen... Yes, I have seen his miracle.
Our stars will be back for a curtain call in just a moment. Now, here's Sally.
With a history lesson.
History, Sally?
Mm-hmm, stocking history. Did you know that men wore the first really modern stockings?
No. When was that?
Oh, back in the 1500s. And just guess who started it? King Henry VIII. They were hand-knitted for him in Spain.
Well, what did people wear before that?
Oh, stockings made of wool or velvet cloth, cut to the shape of the foot and leg, and then seamed up the back. For years, Henry was the only person who had knit ones.
I wonder if he ever got runs.
Probably. After all, that was about 4 centuries before Lux Flakes were invented.
No wonder new stockings were a luxury.
But now any woman can have better, surer stockings than King Henry did.
And thanks to Lux, can keep them lovely a long time. Gentle Lux Care saves elasticity, so stockings give under strain instead of popping into runs so easily. They fit better, too. Don't risk cake soap rubbing or strong soap. Strain tests show these things make runs come much sooner. Stockings washed with mild Lux Flakes last twice as long. And that's just like getting an extra pair of stockings every time you buy a pair. Lux Care is thrifty. Now, back to Brian Ahern and our stars.
I'm sure we're all grateful to Alan Ladd, Hakim Tamirov, and Ann Richards for their excellent presentation of tonight's play. And I must confess that after so many appearances on Lux myself, it was sort of fun for me to sit on the sidelines for a change and watch.
Well, you deserve it, Brian. After your long trek overseas, we've heard a lot about your good work at battlefronts.
Well, entertaining those boys is really a privilege. But it's nice to be home again and to welcome a new star to our stage in such a pleasant form as Miss Ann Richards.
Thank you, Mr. Ahern.
Gave me a charming leading lady, Brian. I can readily see why she's Australia's favorite screen star.
I think she'll be one of America's favorite screen stars, too. When you see her in the picture she's just finished for Hal Wallace.
Yes, in love letters, and his letter perfect.
Well, what have you been doing at Paramount, Hakim?
Me? Oh, I was watching Alan Ladd.
Watching Alan? What, with Ann Richards on the lot?
Well, she's been watching Alan, too.
Yes, that's right.
What's the matter? Afraid he'd walk off with the props?
No, but you see, we're both interested in horses.
Oh, I see. And Alan sort of reminds you of...
Well, I think Kim is talking about the picture I was making, Brian. It has a lot to do with horses and horse racing.
Yes. With all the tracks closed, Paramount was the only place where you can spend a day at the races.
Well, if you're interested in riding, Anne, you should see Hakim as Pablo in For Whom the Bell Tolls.
I saw him. And does he ride a horse?
Yes, I never thought anything filled with hay could be so hard.
Well, you stayed on all right, Akim.
Yeah, sure. I got my pants caught in the saddle.
Well, while you're caught in the saddle, Akim, let me remind you of our show for next week, which also has to do with saddles. It's the brand new RKO screen thriller, Tall in the Saddle, starring John Wayne and Ella Raines in their original screen roles. Together they bring you an action-packed adventure story woven around a mysterious murder and complicated by two women fighting for a man's love. It's a story of suspense and drama in the best Western style.
Sounds like great entertainment, Brian. Good night.
Good night. Good night, and I hope we meet again. Our sponsors, the makers of Lux Flakes, join me in wishing you to be with us again next Monday night when the Lux Radio Theater presents Tall in the Saddle with John Wayne and Ella Raines.
One of the timeliest jobs that you can do for America at war is also one of the easiest. It's saving those waste fats and greases from your kitchen. Little as they mean to you, they're vitally important in the manufacture of essential war materials, which is why your butcher is prepared to give you 2 red ration points plus 4 cents for each pound. Strain waste kitchen fats into a clean can, rush them to your butcher. Heard in tonight's play were Truda Marson, Norman Field, Jay Novello, Cleet Lee, Ralph Lewis, Eddie Marr, Robert Regent, Charles Seal, Lal Chand Mehra, Leon Ledoux, Barbara Jean Wong, and Paul Theodore. Our music was directed by Louis Silvers. This program is broadcast to our fighting forces overseas through cooperation with the Armed Forces Radio Service. And this is your announcer, John N. Kennedy, reminding you to tune in again next Monday night to hear Tall in the Saddle with John Wayne and Ella Raines.
Lady Esther presents the Screen Guild Players. The Screen Guild play tonight, Holiday Inn. The starring players.
This is Bing Crosby.
And this is Dinah Shore.
Tonight, Lady Esther presents the Screen Guild Players in musical highlights from Paramount Pictures' tuneful film, Holiday Inn, starring Bing Crosby as Jim Hardy and Dinah Shore as Linda Mason.
Happy holiday! Happy holiday! Happy holiday!
This is the story of Jim Hardy, a man with an idea.
Oh, pardon me, Brother Bradley. A man with 3 ideas.
3?
Yep. The first one came to me
Consider
when
the
Lila
case
Dixon
of
and
Lucas
Ted
Lawler,
Hanover and myself
warden of
we
a
were doing
certain
song
state
and dance
prison
act
in
New
a
York
certain
Night
western
Club.
state.
John, in heaven's name, will you try to understand?
In less than 3 hours, Guy Richards will be executed. Drop through that trapdoor to his death.
Which will mean the end, I
Just
hope,
when I
Luke.
felt sorry for Ted because Lila was marrying me and we'd leave him looking for 2 new partners, Ted gave Lila a quick fireside chat.
Mm-hmm.
He sold her on staying in the act with him, and when I walked out to go to the farm, I walked out alone. I've had better ideas, I think, than that idea.
Well, tell me, Jim, what was the next idea?
Holiday Inn. See, it didn't take me too long to learn that a farm was no place for a lazy boy. So I decided to change the farmhouse into a roadside nightclub, open on holidays only, and featuring shows built around each particular holiday. I even had a show planned for Hitler's funeral.
Huh?
Yeah.
What made you think Hitler would be buried on a holiday?
Oh, brother, any day he's buried will be a holiday. I wrote special songs for all the holidays, and then I began looking for some talent.
I see.
I was planning to open on Christmas Eve, but the game was called off on account of no one showing up. Not even performers. Boy, I was really feeling sorry for myself on Christmas Day, and then Santa Claus brought me Linda Mason. And when I saw Linda, well, I began to get another idea. Gee, I can still remember the first day when she came up to the farm and she asked me for a job.
Could you use me in your show, Mr. Hardy?
Well, I don't know. Might find a spot for you somewhere. What can you do?
Oh, I dance a little and sing.
Gee, I couldn't guarantee any salary at first. Right now, I've got the ledger in an iron lung.
Oh, I don't care if you pay me off in eggs.
Pay off in eggs? Lady, you've either got me mixed up with Bob Hope or some millionaire.
Please give me a chance.
Well, we'll see what you can do here. This sort of gives me a chance to keep a little promise I made to myself. I swore I was going to sing this song here at the inn tonight. I'm dreaming
and may all the Christmases be white.
Well, Mr. Hardy?
You're hired.
Gee, thanks. Thanks a lot, Mr. Hardy.
I want to tell you, though, there's a string tied to it.
Oh, I was afraid it was too good to be true.
Yep. From now on, you got to start calling me Jim. Well, between this here and that there, Brother B, I want to tell you, Linda and I managed to talk enough musicians and entertainers into taking a chance with us to let us open Holiday Inn on New Year's Eve. The joint was packed. I was standing in the corner pounding myself on the back for having hit the jackpot when the lights went off again all over the world. Just to give everything a nice, ironic touch, Linda was singing Happy Holiday when trouble staggered in.
Happy Holiday, Happy Holiday. While the merry bells keep ringing, may your every wish come true. Happy Holiday, Happy Holiday.
May the calendar keep ringing Happy Holidays to you.
If you're burdened down with trouble, if your nerves are wearing thin, pack your load down the road and come to Holiday Inn.
If the traffic noise affects you like a squeaky violin, kick your cares down the stairs, come on to Holiday Inn.
If you can't find someone who will set your heart awhirl, take your car and motor to the home of boy meets girl.
If you're laid up with a breakdown, throw away your vitamin.
Don't get worse.
Just get your hold of your nurse and come to Holiday Inn.
Happy Holiday, Happy Holiday.
May the calendar keep ringing Happy Holidays to you. Oh, I want to tell you, Brother B, that gal could really sing the socks off.
Yes, indeed. Well, no one's going to argue with you about that, Jim, but, well, if I'm not being too obtrusive, let's get back to the trouble you said staggered into Holiday Inn.
Oh, yes, the trouble.
Yes, the trouble.
Well, it was my former partner and throat cutter, Ted Hanover. Ted staggered in with a compound alcoholic fracture. This boy was loaded. There was nothing wrong with his propensity for grabbing my girls. He walked right over to Linda and began dancing with her, and just watching them dance together, I had a hunch that my days with Linda were numbered. The next morning, though, when I went into the room where I had put Ted to sort of sleep it off, I began to think I had a chance to, Good morning, Ted. Got a little head, huh?
Oh. Say, where am I?
You're in Holiday Inn.
Well, how did I get here? Who brought me?
Haven't you heard about the stork?
This is no time for your alleged comedy. Lila left me.
What?
Yeah, I got a wire from her at the theater telling me she was quitting me. Going to marry some Texas millionaire or something.
Uh-oh.
Then I had a drink.
A drink? Brother, you couldn't hit the floor with a handful of hominy.
Say, I seem to remember dancing with some girl after I got here last night.
Girl?
Yeah. I'm beginning to remember a few things. Gee, she was a perfect partner for me. Now that Lila's left me, I have to get a new partner, and that girl, she's just the girl for me.
Oh, no, Ted. I think you're much better off doing a single. You're a born soloist, you know, old boy.
Oh, no, Jim. No, sir. I've got to get that girl for a partner. Gee, if I could only remember what she looked like.
You don't remember?
No. Say, wait a minute. You saw her.
Me?
Yeah. Come on, describe her.
Oh, well, I wasn't watching very closely, you know. She was, I would say she was a medium-built sort of a girl with a medium face. She had a nice evening gown on with a sort of a Bal McCann back.
You're a great help, you are. Thanks a lot.
Oh, it's really nothing at all. Happy to do it for you.
Just the same, I got a hunch. I'm going to find that girl, and believe me, she's worth waiting for.
Well, where are you going to find her?
Right here. I have a hunch she'll be back here for the next holiday.
Well, how do you like that for a guy moving in on me, Brother B?
Well, Jim, couldn't you have told him she was your girl and asked him to keep away from her?
Oh, you can't be that naive. True, old boy. Don't you remember Lila? Ted made a habit of stealing my girls away from me. My only chance to hang on to Linda was to keep her out of Ted's sight until I had enough cabbage in the bank to ask her to marry me. And with the next holiday, Lincoln's birthday, I decided that Linda and we're going to work in blackface to keep Ted from discovering her. Well, she wasn't too happy either when I broke the idea to her about it.
Oh, Jim, I look terrible in that stuff.
No, you won't.
I don't even know how to put it on.
I'll put it on for you. I'm an old boot black, you know. Well, let's see. Here we go now.
Oh, for a month and a half I've been dreaming about how pretty I was going to look tonight.
Well, you'll have plenty of times to be pretty. Say, you know, I was just going to ask you if you'd like to be in the rest of the shows out here.
You were?
Will you?
Will I? I just wish I didn't have to work in that florist shop all the other days in the year to make these few possible.
Well, maybe a little later on when we start doing better, you can stay out here all the time.
Did you hear what you just said?
I just caught the last part of it there.
Was it a proposal?
Well, it sure will be when I get a few bucks in the bank.
Gosh, you're a strange duck. You don't even give me a chance to say darling and throw my arms around you.
Oh, you'd better wait until you see my bank book.
Well, I guess I'm sort of engaged.
Yes, and I guess we better sort of start the show, too. Come on, we can't just sing here in the dressing room. On a February morn, a tiny baby boy was born. Abraham.
When he grew up, this tiny babe, the folks all called him Honest Abe. Abraham.
He was a great man, Abraham.
Abraham.
In 1860, he became the 16th president. And now he's in the Hall of Fame, a most respected gem.
And that is why we celebrate this blessed February day. Abraham.
USA's united thanks to one whose name was Nancy Hanks. Abraham.
She gave this land its finest son, whoever went to Washington. Abraham.
When somebody told him General Grant was drinking every night,
he answered, go see if you can get all my generals tied.
That's why we celebrate blessed February day. Abraham. Abraham.
Continue in just a moment with the second half of our musical highlight from Holiday Inn. But first, a word from our hostess, Lady Esther.
I've received so many letters lately from women living in Pittsburgh, Atlanta, Chicago, and other cities where there are numerous defense plants and where the air is filled with smoke and flying dust. They tell me what a problem it is to keep their skin really clean these days. And many of them tell me they began to notice their skin getting dull and muddy looking, and they began to notice blemishes here and there. But what a difference, they tell me, since they began using Lady Esther four-purpose face cream. Many of them tell me their skin never looked cleaner and fresher, never looked smoother. Now, I wish I could read you these hundreds of enthusiastic letters, because they prove that Lady Esther four-purpose face cream does far more for your skin than just an ordinary cleansing cream. But I want to do more than that. I want to send you a generous tube of Lady Esther four-purpose face cream free, so that you can try it on your own skin and see the thrilling results for yourself. After all, what better proof can there be than to see a thing with your own eyes? If your skin is taking a lot of extra punishment these days, especially if it's being exposed more than usual and getting a little dry and rough, a little muddy looking, you'll want to take advantage of my offer. I'll send you enough cream for a whole week's trial, and you can see for yourself how Lady Esther four-purpose face cream not only thoroughly cleans your skin, but softens it, helps nature refine the pores, and even leaves a smooth, flattering base for powder. Just send me your name and address on the back of a penny postcard. By return mail, you'll receive your gift tube of Lady Esther four-purpose face cream and the 9 different shades of Lady Esther face powder. All the address you need is Lady Esther, Chicago.
Happy holiday! Happy holiday! Happy holiday!
And now we raise the curtain again on Holiday Inn, starring Dinah Shore as Linda Mason and Bing Crosby as Jim Hardy. Go on with the story of Holiday Inn, Jim. Tell me, did the blackface disguise keep Ted from discovering Linda?
Yeah, but he came back like gangbusters. He promised to come 2 days later for Valentine's Day, and even I couldn't figure out a legitimate excuse for putting Linda in blackface on Valentine's Day, so I decided to take Cupid right by the bowstrings and set myself solid with Linda. Now, I had a special song all whipped up for her when she came back for rehearsal. I called it, Be Careful, It's My Heart. I wasn't kidding either.
Pretty solid with Linda.
Well, I thought it was pretty beamy, you know, nice low key and everything, but nothing happened. While I was singing, Ted finally found Linda, and he moved right in.
Back in?
Oh, he moved in with a crash. He set himself up in business at Holiday Inn, dancing with Linda, you know, in the holiday shows, and dividing the rest of his time between making love to her and trying to sell her on leaving me in Holiday Inn to head for the big time as his dancing partner. Now, I managed to come out of my corner punch, you know. I was swinging right from China. And on Easter Sunday, I was sure I had Ted on the run when Linda joined me in the big Easter parade. In your Easter bonnet, with all the frills upon it, you'll be the grandest lady in the Easter parade.
I'll be all in clover, and when they look us over, we'll be the proudest couple in the Easter parade.
On the avenue,
Fifth Avenue,
the photographers will snap us,
and you'll find that you're in the photogravure.
Write a song about your Easter bonnet and all the girl I'm taking to the Easter
Jim, that really should have eliminated Hanover, huh?
Well, I thought he'd take a fast count, but Ted promoted a couple of Hollywood talent scouts to come out to the inn. couple of boys from Hollywood, and signed Linda and himself up.
They got a picture contract,
Yep,
huh?
that's what they did in a little epic titled Holiday Inn.
Now, wait. You mean they stole your idea and made it into a picture?
Well, no. When Ted stole my girl, I gave him the idea for the picture.
And that was the end of everything, huh?
Practically. I closed up Holiday Inn after Ted and Linda left, and I just sat around feeling sorry for myself. And on Thanksgiving Day, I read in the gossip columns that they were going to be married as soon as they finished the picture. Well, then I was really ready for the river. And then Mamie, my housekeeper, she took me in hand and gave me sort of a chalk talk on chickadees and their chicaneries.
Closing up the inn and sitting around like a jellyfish. Just 'cause a slicker stole your gal and you ain't got fight enough to get her back.
I tried to keep her here, Mamie.
What kind of keeping was that? Nothing but tricks. If you hadn't made Miss Linda mad, hiring that driver to keep her away from the inn the night them Hollywood scouts was here, and then acting like she couldn't be trusted to stay with you in the face of temptation, she'd still be here. Why, right now, if you went to Hollywood and told Miss Linda how much you love her and misses her, that is, if you told her the way a lady likes to hear it, I'll bet you she'd be the quickest ex-movie star that ever exed.
Well, just what do you have in mind?
Grab yourself a handful of train and get on out to Hollywood.
Well, and then what? See, after all, I can't just walk up to a girl I'm in love with, and I haven't seen her in several months, and say, Dr. Livingston, I presume, or something.
Well, now, see here, Mr. Jim. I can tell you to get out to Hollywood, and I can also advise you to take Miss Linda in your arms and crush her. But after that, Mr. Jim, you got to put the pressure on yourself.
Well, look at here.
Well, did you take Mamie's advice, Jim?
Well, I had nothing to lose, Brad. I walked onto the lot where they were making the movie version of Holiday Inn, just as they were about to shoot the last scene of the picture. And I want to tell you, it gave me something of a start, because that movie set looked exactly like my Connecticut farmhouse. The artificial snow coming down from above, it really took me back to that Christmas day when Linda showed up at Holiday Inn looking for a job. And then Linda began singing White Christmas, and I mustered up enough nerve to walk right into the scene. And when it was all over, Ted Hanover was looking for a new partner, and Linda and I were off to see a man about a license.
Saying thank you and good night. This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.
and Arturo de Cordova with J. Carroll Nash and Mikhail Razumny in A Medal for Benny. Ladies and gentlemen, your guest producer, Mr. Irving Pitchell. Greetings from Hollywood, ladies and gentlemen. A good story is timeless, so it may take time to be appreciated. The incidents behind tonight's play occurred after the First World War. But Jack Wagner, the writer who tried to sell the play to Hollywood, had no success. A few years ago, he happened to repeat the story to his friend John Steinbeck, whose enthusiasm whipped it up to date and led to Paramount's unusual and moving drama, A Medal for Benny, starring Dorothy Lamour and Arturo de Cordova, with J. Carroll Nash and Mikhail Razumny in their original screen roles. I had the privilege of directing A Medal for Benny, and we filmed most of the action in a picturesque community a few miles from this stage. If you should visit it, you'd be impressed, as I was, not only by its atmosphere, but also by the colorful costumes of its women, the bright, gay fabrics that decorate even the humblest of its dwellings, so spotlessly clean. It's curtain time, and here's the first act of A Medal for Benny, starring Dorothy Lamour as Lolita and Arturo de Cordova as Joe, with J. Carroll Nash as Charlie and Mikhail Razumny as Raphael. Hidden away along the California coast is the town of Pantera. The new part of town is like any other small community, but the old part belongs to the Paisanos, Americans of mixed Indian and Spanish blood, a simple, friendly people who are, in reality, the original California settlers. One of these Paisanos is a young fellow named Joe Morales.
Lolita, it's Joe. Oh, a great thing has happened. Open the door.
I told you not to bother me.
Lolita, I gotta come in.
Go away. I'm getting dressed.
Then I will kick the door down a little.
Stop banging. Oh, it's you.
Hello, Tito.
Look, Joe, would you like some advice?
No.
It's about her.
Huh?
For advice about my sister, Benny Martin always paid me 5 cents. For you, 10 cents.
Okay. Here's the 10 cents. Now the advice.
It's simple. Stop hanging around Lolita.
Give me back my 10 cents.
You will get your money's worth. Look, Joe, ever since Benny Martin went away, you've been trying to steal his girl.
Hey, what talk is this?
And what have you got from her? Nothing but slaps. And all you will get is more slaps. Believe me, I understand women.
Maybe so, but not Lolita.
Lolita best of all. I have lived with her for 9 years. Where? What do you want?
Look, kiddo, you come with me, quick.
Stupid. I have to go to work at Mrs. Kelly's house.
Oh, but Lolita, I am in the fish business with Benny's father, old Charlie Martin. Lolita, my love, I tell you this is money in the bank.
All right, Joe Morales. But remember, keep your hands to yourself.
Oh, then you'll go?
Yes, where to?
Hurry, my life, to the ocean. The ocean.
This is yours? This boat?
Mine and old Charlie Martin. Jump on. Let me show you. Look. Oh, you see? A bell. And over here, fishing net. Even an engine. An engine of great power.
Does it work?
Oh, does it work?
Joe, how much did you pay for it?
$60.
$60? Where did you get that money?
Never mind. Look, I will start the engine. Oh, listen to that. Hold on, Lolita. Here we go. Oh, what a wonderful thing is a boat with an engine. You like to steer a little?
How do I do it?
Here, I put my arms around you so I can hold the steering wheel. Now this.
Joe Morales, you wash your hands.
Lolita.
Joe, get away, get...
No. What is wrong with one little kiss?
Only with you it is wrong.
With who then?
You know well enough.
Ah, that Benny, that crook, that's no account.
I am promised to Benny. And when he comes back...
Sure, when he comes back. Do you ever hear from him?
I got a postcard.
8 months ago. One cheap little postcard with not even a picture on it. And Benny's father, that nice old Charlie. Does Benny ever send him as much as $1? No, nothing.
So that is why you bring me out in the middle of the bay, to take me away from Benny. It is like all of your dirty schemes.
Sure, dirty schemes. For you, I would lie. I would steal. I would...
Sure, for me. But for a house, for trust, for kids and a paycheck on Saturday nights, no.
All right. Marry Benny. Marry anybody. It makes no difference.
Joe, the engine, look.
Huh?
It's tearing a hole in the bottom of the boat. The boat is coming apart.
The engine. Do something.
The water is rushing in, old Joe. Shove the rowboat overboard quick before we drown.
The rowboat? Oh, my lovely boat sinking beneath my feet.
Hurry up, jump. We'll swim to the rowboat.
Yes, Lolita, yes.
Well, there goes the fish business.
All is gone. Nothing but the ocean. Not even a souvenir I could take home for Charlie Martin.
And what are you going to tell that poor man?
I'll think of something. I must go to him right away. Lolita, my dove, please row a little faster.
It's a very fine informal party, Charlie.
Oh, thank you, Raphael. But it's only a little red wine.
Charlie, what's the occasion? Benny comes home?
No Benny yet. The occasion, Raphael, is that pretty soon I am a rich millionaire.
If you are a rich millionaire, Charlie, why is that Mr. Alviso, the landlord, so angry with you?
Mr. Alviso, 6 months rent money he wants. He's a crazy fellow.
But, Charlie, 6 months rent you owe Mr. Alviso.
And he will get his money because I am now in the fish business with Joe Morales. So I told Mr. Alviso, soon I'm going to buy this house to keep my goats in.
Oh, Joe Morales, the fish business.
Well, if it was not for this wonderful fellow, Joe, my $60 rent money would now be in the pockets of that blood squeezer, Mr. Alviso. Come in. Joe, Lolita, well, just in time. Our dear neighbors celebrate our good fortune. Quick, Joe, tell him about our wonderful boat.
Lolita already knows.
By golly, she is something, huh?
Charlie, you gave Joe your rent money to buy that boat?
Oh, you bet your life it was my rent money.
Tell him, Joe.
Look, Charlie, I have a little something to tell you. You and we have encountered an act of God in this fish business.
Oh, an act of God? Well, that is fine, Joe.
No, Charlie, listen. Do you remember the engine?
Do I remember? By golly, Lolita, you saw it, huh?
Yes, I saw it.
Well, the bottom of the boat fell out a little, and the engine sank into the ocean.
Oh, well, that is not good. No, that is bad.
Charlie, soon Benny will be home, and all your troubles will be over.
When he was here, there was always a gallon of wine and a big fat chicken.
And the little animals, how they used to love Benny. The little chickens, the little ducks, how they used to follow him home.
Aye, and the dogs, too, all the way from town.
Only expensive dogs follow him. Never less than $10 reward. Never.
There are some people that say Benny was too wild. You know, like the time for his big trouble, you remember?
Oh, well, Benny got so many big troubles. Which one?
Last 4th of July at the theater. His big fight.
Ah, that one. Who can ever forget?
Mis amigos, I have traveled. I have seen the world. I have been from San Diego to the Oregon border. I have seen fights, many fights. But I swear that never have I seen such a fight like that, boy. There he was. Policemen and sheriffs on all sides. Fast! Like tigers, they spring at him. Fast! There he swings, he crunches, he tears. The air is filled with little pieces of policemen. More policemen from the left, more policemen from the right. Policemen, and they got him. Now he's inside the jail doors with the blood running down his noble face. Calanch, go the doors behind him. The chief of police pulls a gun, but Benny takes the gun away, and with his beautiful strong teeth, he bites the barrel off and swallows the whole works like a Tootsie Roll. Mrs. Catalina, do I exaggerate?
Every word is true.
And the judge, The cruel man to throw Benny out of town for a whole year. They could have put him in jail just a little, like all the other times.
Lolita, to have such a man as Benny, you must be very proud.
Joe, where you going? Benny. I come to drink a little wine and talk a little, and all I hear is Benny. Where am I going? I'm going to church to pray to St. Ben. What a fine young man you heard, huh? Such a religious fella. Good morning, Jake.
Hello, Charlie.
Jake, I come here to your saloon with a chicken. Maybe you're going to take the chicken for a gallon of wine, huh?
Some chicken. What did I have?
Well, me.
Okay, Charlie, a gallon of wine.
Thank you, Jake.
Hey, a friend of yours over there.
Huh? Oh, Joe Morales.
Good morning, Charlie.
Well, Joe, you look so sad. If it is about our fish business...
Oh, that is sadness enough. But somebody shoved a knife in my heart. I do not feel good.
Oh, a woman?
Yes.
Oh, poor boy. With your permission, I will suffer with you. Joe, this morning I got a letter. Please to read it for me. I am a man of not much education.
I will read it to you. Charlie, there's money in the letter. Look. $25.
What is... It comes from Benny?
No, listen. Dear Charlie, I take pen in hand to say hello.
Hello?
And to tell you how sorry I was to leave town without paying you for the fine riata you made me. Anyway, here is the money. Your old friend, Oscar Espinosa.
Oscar Espinosa? What an honest man.
Charlie, this money, what will you do with it?
I'm going to give it to Mr. Alviso for some of his rent.
You know, many times I lay awake all night just thinking of the nice things you have done for me. And I say to myself, Joe, I say, be patient. The time will come when you can do something for poor old Charlie. Well, the time has come. Charlie, give me your money. I will be your bank.
No, the fish business. No, please, as a favor.
All right. One day you will be sorry. I can see you now, starving to death on the steps of Mr. Alviso's beautiful home, begging for some crumbs.
Does he give me some?
No, he kicks you into the street like a bundle of old rags.
What a barbarian.
And people will say that is poor, hungry Charlie who wouldn't let his good friend Joe Morales be his bank and pay him good interest on his money.
Joe, you be my bank, huh?
Now, see? Here already is some interest. Not $1 like the Pantera Bank, but $5. Take it, Charlie. It's for you. In advance.
By golly, Joe, you are the best bank in California.
Now what do you want?
Lolita, I have come to see you.
All right. You have seen me.
Oh, but I have brought you a present. Here, open the box.
A dress.
And look.
Tickets.
For the dance tonight. If you come with me, it will be...
Joe. I'm sorry, but...
Somebody else will be sorry, too. Your sainted mother who is in heaven.
My mother?
Yes, last night I had a dream. She came to kneel by my bed. Joe Morales, she said, I am very unhappy here in heaven because my little girl is sad and lonely. Mr. Morales, she said, why don't you buy her a nice new dress and take her to the dance?
Ah, that is a lot of potatoes, Joe. Such lies.
Oh, hello, Joe.
Hello, Chisto.
I want to talk to you.
Let Joe alone.
Hey, Lolita, my life, why don't you come? Show me one good reason.
Benny is the reason. When people are promised to each other, they are true to each other.
And you think Benny's true to you, huh?
Look at me, Joe Morales, and look at me plenty. If you were Benny Martin, would you be true to me?
Yes.
All right, then.
Hey, Joe!
Eat your supper.
But Charlie says to tell Joe that he wants his $20 back.
Oh, no. No, not again. Don't tell me you robbed poor old Charlie again.
Is it robbery to borrow a man's money and pay him good interest?
This dress and the tickets. You take them back, you hear? Get Charlie's money and give it back to him. Now get out. Get out.
Oh, Lolita, look. Hey, Jake, has old Charlie been here in the saloon tonight?
Oh, he left long ago, Joe. You know what he said? He's taking Benny's girl to the dance.
I think I should hear for a while.
Sure, Joe. Sure.
Oh, hello, Joe.
Hello.
Don't you remember me? I'm Toodles Castro from Santa Marta.
Sure, I remember.
Like to buy me a drink, Joe?
Oh, my heart is so heavy there's not enough wine in California to float it.
Ah, you're no fun. I wish Benny Martine was in town.
Huh? You know Benny?
Are you kidding? I used to see him all the time.
Oh, you did?
See this ring? Benny gave it to me. So I know Benny.
You know, Toodles, already I feel better. How would you like to go to the dance with me?
I can't. I'm driving back to Santa Marta in a little while, and besides, I haven't got a party dress.
Maybe I'll buy you a drink after all. Jake, a little wine.
Hey, what's eating you?
Oh, I'm just so glad to see you. Toodles, come with me to the dance, and I'll give you a party dress. What do you say to that, huh?
Well, that's different. Sure, I'll go. And if I wasn't so afraid of you, Joe, I'd say a toast.
Go ahead. What toast?
To Benny.
Sure, to Benny. And to Benny's girl, Lolita.
By golly, Lolita, I'm some good dancer, huh?
By golly, I bet you are nearly as good as
Look, Joe, yes. Hey, Joe Morales.
Good evening, Charlie. Also, all my friends. Here's a young lady I should want you to meet.
What a young lady, Joe. With such pretty legs, she ought to walk on her hands.
Miss Toodles Castro, this is Benny's father.
Thank you so much.
And Miss Lolita Sierra.
Hello.
Mrs. Catalina shakes hands with Toodles Castro. She's a good friend of Benny's.
Anyone who is a friend of Benny's is a friend of anyone.
Thank you so much.
Mr. Rafael Luenga, Miss Rosa Perez, and Mrs. Pancho Dominguez.
Oh, Miss Toodles, somewhere have I seen your picture?
Sure, her picture was in the papers.
Oh, yes, I remember now. She was Miss Santa Marta of 1941.
Sure, the vegetable queen. Down here she had a little skirt made from celery, here parsnips, and here the artichoke. Miss Castro, you have known my Benny long time?
To know that man for 5 minutes is to know him forever.
That Benny, he's a lively one, huh?
You're telling me.
That is a pretty good-looking ring you have there. May I look at it?
Oh, certainly.
That was Benny's ring.
Jerry, say, how'd you know it was Benny?
Because I gave it to him. That was my father's wedding ring.
Wedding ring, huh? Well, maybe I should wear it on my left hand. Or maybe I should leave it where it is. Huh, Joe?
See, Lolita?
What do you mean, see, Lolita?
Now, look here, Miss Vegetable, with all your parsnips. This fine young woman is the one Benny will marry when he comes home.
Baloney. Come on, Joe.
Sure, Toodles.
Hey, my coat. Here, you better park it somewhere.
Wait a minute.
Huh?
That dress she's got on. That is the dress you bought for me.
My life, look. You told me you did not want the dress.
Well, I have changed my mind. I want it right now. Make her take it off.
Take it off?
And if you don't, I will.
Lolita, por favor, no vayas
I'm warning you.
I'll go clean a fish. Let's freeze, Joe.
Miss Castro.
What?
This.
All right, sister, you asked for it.
Let go of my hair.
I'll scratch her eyes out. Slap me, will you?
Come watch the ladies fight. Keep away from the refreshments, ladies. Keep away from the refreshment stand. Lolita, look out! She's got the ball of Chile. Toodles, no, not that. Stop. Oh! It's okay. She only hit Joe. Stop the fighting, please. Stop the fighting.
Joe.
Oh, go away.
Joe, I should say I am sorry I beat up on Miss Toodles Castro, but that is not what I'm sorry about.
A fool I made of myself, all over with Chile. My face, my hair. I have been in the ocean washing it off. I'm thinking now of drowning myself. Laugh, like all the rest of them you laugh.
Joe, listen. Maybe the fight was lucky.
How can a horrible thing like that be lucky?
Joe, when you bring that Miss Parsnips to the dance, I was mad. But when you got in the way of the chili beans, I felt sort of sad and silly, like a woman in love. That's when I thought her good.
You did?
Sure.
Oh.
Joe, do you love me?
Do I love you? Look, my life. You think all this time I have been talking deaf and dumb? Oh, come here. Now, do you know?
Yes, I know. I think now even my grandmother, who has been dead for 40 years, knows. Joe, we better tell Charlie.
Charlie?
Oh, we'll have to tell him.
I owe him so much money, and now I take away his Benny's girl.
Oh, but still we must tell him now.
Maybe if you called on Charlie alone by yourself, huh?
No. You too.
How can a man be so happy as I am and so unhappy? We tell Charlie.
In just a moment, our stars will return in Act Two of A Medal for Benny. Guest producer, Mr. Irving Pitchell, returns to the microphone.
Act Two of A Medal for Benny, starring Dorothy Lamour as Lolita and Arturo de Cordova as Joe, with J. Carroll Nash as Charlie and Mikhail Razumny as Raphael. It's the following morning. And while Joe Morales and Lolita search for Charlie Martin to break the news to him of their betrothal, the old man is ambling down the dusty road to town. Under each arm is a crate of chickens, and in front of him his small flock of goats. Halfway to town, he meets his friend, Raphael.
What's the matter? You're not moving away. Moving away? From the friends that I love, Raphael? No. To leave this place, I think I would die.
Then, Charlie, where do you take the little animal?
Well, this I'm going to tell you. Mr. Alviso comes early this morning. Oh, you teeth spells out, he says. And he put a sign on the fence for rent house.
Oh, Charlie, Mr. Alviso cannot do this.
That is what I tell him. How a house can be for rent when I am living in it. But just the same, he hammers up the sign.
Oh, I see, but the little animals, Charlie.
Oh, these I take to the bank. You know Miguel, the janitor at the bank. He told me the things you borrowed the money with is Collateral.
Oh, collateral.
Don't worry, Rafael. The bank gonna loan me some money, and Mr. Alviso will take down the sign. Come, little boy.
Okay, you. Now, what is it you want?
Please, mister, I would like, with your permission, to borrow $60.
Brother, you'll have to see Mr. Mibb, the president of the bank.
I leave my collaterals in the back, my chickens and goats. Please, where is this Mr. Mibb?
You see that sign there?
I think I forget my eyeglass a little.
Today is Thursday, see? The sign says, luncheon meeting Pantera Pepsters every Thursday. Club rooms above bank. Come up and shake hands.
All right, I shake hands.
No, not you. Mr. Mibbs is president of the Pepsters, too. Come back at 2 o'clock.
Please, mister, what is Pepsters?
It's a club, see? A club to boost the town. Oh. And if you just... Oh, go on. I'm busy. And so, fella Pepsters, let's put our shoulders to the wheel. Let's strain every sinew and bend every effort to make Pantera the biggest little town in California. Thank you. Thank you, Sexy Mibbs. I'm sure all the boys here will... Hey, for Pete's sake, Herb, what's all that racket down there?
Huh? Oh, some old geezer with a bunch of chickens and goats.
In the bank, the 5 bank buildings, in the parking lot?
Now, Zach, relax. We've got some mighty important things here to discuss.
What important things?
Well, the mayor was going to be here to tell us...
And where is he? You're chairman of the program committee. Why hasn't he showed up?
Well, Mr. Mayor.
I'm sorry I'm late, boys, but wait till I tell you what's happened. Biggest thing in the history of Pantera. Mr. Chairman, can I have the floor?
You got it already. What's this all about?
This telegram. Boys, has anybody here ever heard of a fellow named Benny Martine?
Benny Martine?
No, I don't think so.
Nobody here has ever heard of Benny Martine?
What about you, Edgar?
Huh?
You're a publicity man. You claim to know everybody.
Oh, that's fine. That's just dandy. Nobody even heard of him, huh?
So what?
So what? Well, I'll tell you so what. This Benny Martine, this fella from our own hometown, is America's #1 hero, that's all.
Hero?
Telegram, see? It's from the United Press. It says the president has just awarded this Benny Martine the Congressional Medal of Honor.
Oh, boy. What's this Benny done?
Yeah, what's he doing?
Well, what did he get the medal for?
For killing Japs. This Benny, single-handed, killed pretty near 100 Japs. Can you beat that? A fella from our own hometown? Hey, do you get that, Mr. Mayor? Hey, do you get it, Mr. Mibbs?
No.
A local boy. That's the angle. Brother, what a tire. Can't you just see it? Pantera, home of America's #1 hero. Why, I'll plaster it all over the country. Radio, newspapers, newsreels. Oh, boy, what a break. What we need is to get to a telephone right away. Somebody must know who Benny is.
Okay, Sam, Edgar, Walter, come on down to my office. This meeting's adjourned. 11 telephone calls, and nobody's even heard of the Martine family. Pantera, the biggest nest of dim-witted schlemiels west of the Rocky Mountains.
Now, Sam.
And that includes you. Suppose this Martine family's left town.
Why, Mr. Mibbs, there hasn't been a family leave Pantera in 2 years.
No, one moved in 20.
Mr. Mibbs.
What is it?
Somebody here to see you about a $60 loan. Been here since noon.
Mr. Mibbs, with your permission, I want to borrow $60 from the bank.
Oh, go away. Can't you see I'm busy?
You heard what he said.
But I have outside the collateral.
You don't say. What? You don't say. You don't say.
What don't he say?
Okay, Clem, goodbye.
Who was it?
It was the telegraph office. Clem says they're burning up the wires. Clem says...
All right, but what? Who?
Newspapers, news agencies from up down near every town in the good old USA.
What a collection of turkey heads. Suddenly we've got a hero. And in a town the size of a gopher hole, nobody's ever heard of him. If anybody finds this out, a fine bunch of rummies we're going to look like.
Hello, Les. Hey, fellas. Les says there's some Martines over in Bakersville.
Bakersville? Why, you poor cookie. If Bakersville claims this boy, that's the finish.
Hello, Les. Never mind. Why, we just as well pack up this community and move it over there.
Come in.
Mr. Mibbs, just a little...
Get out. Oh, what a day. A simple little thing like... I thought I told you... Oh, Herb, come in.
Oh, Mr. Mibbs. Mr. Mibbs, I just got a line on him. This Martine fella. They got his whole record at the police station.
Police station?
Yeah, he's a guy they run out of town, Benny Martine.
Oh, we get a hero, and we find he's a guy we ran out of town. We got $1 million break for the merchants of Pantera, and for heaven's sake, what's going on here? Adam. Yes, Mr. Mibbs. Don't stick him in the back.
Him, Mr. Mibbs. He insisted on bringing them in, and Mississippi St. Bernard dogs were just close in my office.
Please, Mr. Mibbs, collateral.
Joe, did you find him? Did you find Charlie?
No, not yet, kiddo. Not all day. But pretty soon we find him, huh?
Joe, why the big smiles?
Oh, kiddo, I'm so rich, I'm sick at my stomach. Look, $60. As soon as I find Charlie, I give it all to him.
Joe, you didn't...
No. Do you remember Pancita Jack, the one I bought that boat from? Well, I sold the boat back to him.
But the boat is at the bottom of the bay. He doesn't know.
He does know. He felt so bad about it, he is now in the hospital a little.
Joe, if it is all the same, let me have the money for Charlie.
Sure, kiddo. You give it to him.
And no more schemes.
No more, Lolita.
Then I can tell you for sure that for me you are the only one. Because like this, there has never been anyone else.
Not even Benny?
Not even Benny. Oh, Joe, we have got to tell Charlie about it.
Sure.
It will be bad news for him. He has always been crazy for me to marry Benny.
But when we give him back his $60, he will not feel so bad, huh? Hey, Lolita, I got a big surprise.
Please, Joe, I know your big surprise.
No, not this one, you don't. I got a job.
You...
I went to see Mr. Gonzalez, a big contractor. He says, Joe, come to work.
Oh, Joe, give me a chance.
You betcha, kiddo.
Now, come on. Maybe by now Charlie is home again.
Who is
Charlie? It's Joe and Lolita.
Oh, I think maybe it is Mr. Alviso.
Charlie, all day we looked for you.
Well, I have been in the town. Tomorrow night I will not even have a roof to put my head under. Oh, I wish Benny was here.
Charlie, we have two important matters to discuss with you.
Well, Joe is no use. I got no money.
That is what you think. Here is matter number one. $60 from Joe.
My rent money. Joe, you're a wonderful fella.
Charlie, the second matter you may not be so happy about.
It's about Lolita, Charlie. Lolita and I, you see...
Hey, that noise!
Policeman, siren. Out the window, look. So many automobiles, they are coming to this house.
A policeman?
Charlie, when you go to town today, you kill Mr. Alviso, maybe?
No, Joe. Oh, my goats, I think they smell of the bank a little. But with so many cops, it must be Benny.
And all the neighborhood. Charlie, they are all coming here.
Don't open the door. Don't open the door.
Mr. Martin, this is Mayor Smiley. If Mr. Alviso is sending you, I got the rent money. Please, won't you let us in, Mr. Martin? No. Lolita, these are not angry men. With Benny, they always kick down the door a little. It's about your son, Mr. Martin. You see? Benny didn't do it.
Charlie, it's no use. Open the door.
Oh, this is very bad.
What is it? What do you want?
Hey, boys, keep them out of here. Close that door. No, please. These are only my friends. Good evening, Mrs. Catalina and Pamphilio. Come in, Rafael. Come in. All right, just a few, but no more, please. Now then, speaking for all Pantera, I want to tell you how proud we are of your son. Proud? Proud of my Benny? Please, what he has done. You mean you don't know? You haven't heard from the War Department? Please, mister, what for the War Department want to talk to me?
But, Mr. Martin, your son's a hero.
I'll say he is. He killed more than 100 Japs all by himself.
Benny? Benny's a soldier?
He sure wasn't picking spinach.
By golly, I bet he's a good one, huh, Joe?
And the president has awarded him the nation's highest tribute, the Congressional Medal of Honor.
Hey, everybody, what do you think? My Benny is a hero. From the President of the United States of America, he got a great big gold medal. By golly, I think we all got to have a drink on that, huh?
Mr. Martin, have you got any pictures of Benny?
Pictures? No. Wait. Come here. Here. See? On the wall, my sainted wife. There in her face is my Benny for you. Oh, what a one. Just to look at him makes you feel good all day long.
Yes, I'm
I'm sure it does.
Oh, and this young lady, this is Miss Lolita Sierra, the one Benny is going to marry. By golly, Lolita, with his medal, all the girls in town is going to be after that soldier boy. Mr. Mayor, when is my Benny going to bring this medal home, huh?
Mr. Martin, Charlie, well, we all sort of figured that you would have heard about it. You see, the medal was awarded posthumously.
Oh, all right. I don't care how he got it, but when he's coming home.
Charlie, Benny is not coming home.
Huh? Why not? He's in jail again?
Benny is dead.
No. He's dead.
Think we'd better be leaving now, boys? Charlie, we'll be back with a cameraman or two later, to get some informal shots.
I am home. Benny dead.
Okay, everybody, let's clear out. Oh, about that loan, Mr. Martin.
I am sorry to bother you, Mr. Meade.
Bother? Why, bless my soul, it's no bother.
I got my money. Joe give it to me.
Well, good night, Mr. Martin.
Good night.
Good night. Good night, Charlie.
Joe. Everybody is gone now. Charlie is alone. Maybe we should go back in and see him.
Charlie has had enough for one night, I think.
I guess you're right. What is the matter, Joe?
I'm scared.
Scared? Scared of what?
Benny.
But he is dead.
Yes, Benny's dead. Benny, who is always in trouble, his girl I can take from him. But a hero's girl. A hero who is dead. Even from the grave he comes between us. How can I marry you now?
Joe.
We'll present Act 3 of A Medal for Benny in a moment. is Act 3, starring Dorothy Lamour as Lolita and Arturo de Cordova as Joe, with J. Carroll Nash as Charlie and Mikhail Razumny as Raphael. For 24 hours, the hometown of a great hero has wallowed ecstatically in the lush pastures of nationwide publicity. The name of Pantera suddenly has become known from coast to coast, and business booms as reporters and visitors flock to the precincts of valor. In the Pantera Bank, surrounded by his wild-eyed cohort, Mr. Mibbs is on the telephone.
Yes, Senator, of course, Senator. Do I know the Martins? Oh, yes. Oh, they call it Martin. Fine old California family. Spanish land grants and everything. Huh? Why, Senator, only yesterday Benny's father was doing business right here in this bank. Yes, sir. A pillar of the community. No, not at all, sir. Goodbye.
What did he say?
Shut up. Now, one at a time. All right, Mayor, what about Sacramento?
Just you listen to this. The governor and an army general are coming to Pantera. Day after tomorrow, they're going to present the medal to Denny's family.
Just enough time for us to do it upright. All right, Edgar. Where are those pictures?
Hey, Officer Mibbs, here's the pictures of the house.
Oh, no, that's awful. That's a heck of a place to take the governor and the general. Well, don't stand there with your mouths open. What are we going to do?
Well, while they're here, why not take Charlie to another house?
Hey, that's a good idea. Fine. George, that's it. Walt, how about that house of yours?
Huh? Well, okay, Chief, but it isn't furnished.
Okay. Herb, you'll take care of that.
Me? Furniture?
Well, what are you in the furniture business for?
Oh, yeah, but I would...
No, but this bank's got your note, hasn't it? You get the place fixed up. Get the old man into it fast.
And, Red, as soon as he's in, you grab your camera and knock off some pictures. Okay, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy. All right, Charlie, now we get a picture of you standing right over there.
Here, Mr. Love.
That's it. That's the idea. Oh, hold that camera a second, Red. Charlie, let's take off the skimmer, huh?
What is the skimmer?
He means your hat, Charlie.
Oh.
Yeah, just relax, Charlie. You know, sort of nonchalant.
Huh?
Well, think of it this way. Look out over this whole countryside and just imagine that your ancestors owned all of it.
They did.
Oh. Hey, I got it. Just the thing. Red, where's that sombrero?
Right here, Edgar.
Please, as a favor, no.
Why, what's the matter? It looks fine.
Maybe it does to you. But if Charlie's friends saw him in that, they would laugh.
Laugh? They would throw rocks at me. Big ones.
Okay, take it off. Go ahead, Red. Shoot it as is.
Hold it, please. I got it.
That's all, Charlie. Thanks. Well, come on, Red. We got to get back to headquarters.
Charlie, come in the house and I will fix your supper.
But such a big, new, beautiful house to have supper in, Lolita.
You are not going to be lonely here, are you?
No, I don't guess so. I got so many rooms. Pretty soon, Lolita, for the little animals and the goats, I gotta fix a place.
Charlie, listen.
Automobiles.
Mr. Mibbs, maybe. And the police.
No, I know those automobiles. My golly, Lolita is our friend coming to visit us.
We've come to cheer you up a little.
Oh, it's so good. Please to go inside.
Charlie, some lovely things
Oh.
in your fine electric box.
You're too kind. Everybody, please to come in.
Charlie, everybody, I want everybody to tell me truthfully. Tell me, do I look like an imbecile?
Well, Raphael, to me, you look the same as always.
Then please do not ask me to tell you the things I have seen with Mr. Mibbs and his people. Please do not ask me, or you will say my brains are scrambled like a dish of old eggs.
Well, what is it?
No, it's impossible.
Please, I just say,
Okay, I will. For 2 days now, like Jonah in the belly of the whale, I have been enclosed in the Chamber of Commerce. They give me a job. Just imagine to yourself, typewriters making noises like a million woodpeckers. The telephones are ringing. Taling-kalang, taling-kalang. Hello, New York. Mr. Mibbs talking. Taling-kalang, taling-kalang. Hello, Sacramento. This is Mr. Mibbs. Hello, Mr. Governor of the State of California. Pleased to meet you. Yes, very well. All right, come, Papa. Clink along. Hello, this is Mr. Lovkin. Hello, Mr. General of all the Army of the United States. Sure, with all your bullets and your tanks. Pleased to meet you. Sure, and with all your bands. And all for you, Charlie. And by golly for you too, Lolita. Charlie, please to give me your hand. My hand? Chocolate. I'm honored to shake hands with a fine old California family and the pillar of the community. It's a great honor to know a man with so many fine Spanish grands. Who says that? Mr. Mibbs. What is Spanish grand? That I do not know.
Come to the dining room. Surprise!
Joe, where are you?
Here, outside.
Where have you been? Why don't you come into the party?
I can't.
Joe, you act so strange.
I'm scared. I'm crazy like. All day I've walked in the roads, on the beach. But every word is the same thing. The grass, the trees, the sea. They all keep saying, Joe Morales, you're going to lose your woman.
What is the matter with you? Joe, my arm. You're hurting me.
We gotta get away from here. Far away where nobody knows us. Now, before it's too late.
Joe, you don't know what you are saying. Look there in the house. That old man. Do you want to break his heart?
What do you want to do? Break ours?
But, Joe, this will not last forever. It will be forgotten, and in a little while, we will be together for all.
A little while. Even tomorrow it may be too late. I feel it here. I tell you, the world, the outside, is taking you away from me.
For you, Joe, with me 100 years will not be too late. Now come into the house. And be patient and wait like I tell you. Come on.
Lolita and Joe, come in. Look who has just come to see us, Mr. Lovkin.
Yes, indeedy. Back again, Lolita. Just checking up on Charlie, old boy.
Is something wrong?
Wrong, no, sir. I just dropped around to give Charlie a schedule. We just this minute got it set. Now get this, Charlie. Tomorrow, the big doings where they give you the medal is at the ballpark, 11:30 sharp. Means me being here with a car for you at 11. You'll be ready, won't you, Charlie? You know, all shaved, shined, and slicked up. Lolita, you won't let him leave without a necktie, will you?
Wait a minute, Mr. Lovkin. Tomorrow you will not have to be ashamed of Charlie.
No, not of his friends either.
Atta girl. And then, Charlie, after the ceremony...
Good night, Charlie. I am glad I came, but I got to go now.
Oh, so soon. I hope you're going to come and see me many more times.
Goodbye, Charlie. And thank you so much for the lovely chair.
Oh, it is nothing.
Oh, this wonderful chair. I shall not have to put new legs every time my old woman sits down.
Charlie, for God's sake, you can't give him that chair.
Why can't he?
It belongs to Charlie, doesn't it?
Oh, what it matters if I give a friend a little chair? I got some money now.
Well, you see, Charlie...
This house, all these things, they are Charlie's, aren't they?
Well, it's just like I told Charlie.
Answer me.
I guess not.
Then why did you bring Charlie up here?
Well, you take where you folks live. You know, I mean, pictures of it plastered all over the country. Well, it might look kind of funny. You know, the father of a hero. Folks might get the wrong impression.
Please, Mr. Lovkin, give to it no importance. Lolita and Joe, think a little. Where I ever would find the money to pay the taxes on such a place like this. Mr. Lovkin, please, to Mr. Mibbs, give my remembrance. And from our hearts, thanks for the honor he has done for us and my son.
Oh, forget it, Charlie, forget it. It works both ways. By tomorrow, there'll be 5,000 outsiders here in Pantera, every one of them good for $3.
A lot of nickels for hot dogs and hamburgers.
That's just chicken feed. This medal for Benny is going to do for Pantera just what the quintuplers did for Canada. No, sir, Charlie, you don't owe us a thing. You get the glory, we get the gravy.
Wait, Mr. Lovkin. Benny was a wild boy. But even Benny would not think to do a thing like this. Never he would use the bravery and the beautiful medal to sell a lot of hot dogs and real estate. No, even Benny would not do that. Come, Lolita, everybody. Now we will go home.
But, Charlie, you can't leave.
Please, as a favor.
But there'll be 5,000 outsiders here tomorrow.
Mr. Lufkin?
Yes.
Go away.
Hello, Edgar.
Yes, Mr. Mintz?
Edgar, where are you?
I'm phoning from the fish house, Mr. Mintz.
Edgar, maybe you don't know it, but for 45 minutes, the governor of this state and the lieutenant general have been standing on the steps of the city hall. And for 45 minutes, we've been listening to that lousy band. Now, where is Charlie Martin?
Mr. Mintz, he says he's staying in his house.
Oh, if you jimmy this thing up, I'll nail your ears to that fish house door.
But, Mr.
You
Mintz...
blabbermouth idiot, shooting off your face last night. What's done this?
Well, Mr. Nibbs, where is he? Where is Charlie?
But I'm very much afraid Charlie isn't coming.
What do you mean isn't coming?
Well, you see, General, there seems to have been some misunderstanding. Why, we even had a special car to bring him here to the city hall and then take him to the ballpark.
Ballpark, my eye. Where does the man live?
Well, you see...
Where does he live?
In Slewtown, General.
Well, let's go to Slewtown.
But you can't go there. And what about the parade and all those troops you brought to town and the tanks?
Why can't I go to Slewtown?
General, it's nothing but a bunch of shacks.
It is, huh? Well, you should have seen where I came from. Come on. We're going to Slewtown.
But the parade!
The parade goes to Slewtown, too.
Lolita, come here. Look, soldiers. Hundreds and hundreds of soldiers.
Charlie, the army. They are coming to you. I think now it is all right if you open the door.
Mr. Charles Martin?
Yes, please. But the whole army.
Mr. Martin, the President of the United States has directed me to present to you, in the name of the Congress of the United States, the Medal of Honor, awarded to your son, Benjamin Martin, for services rendered in battle above and beyond the call of duty.
Please, is it now I can say something?
Yes, Mr. Martin.
I don't talk too good. Benny came from this house, and Benny is a hero. I know there can be heroes from all kinds of houses, too, because a man is only what he grows out of, his family, his friends, and his house. Maybe that is a good thing for the whole country. Maybe it is good she must depend for the life on all kinds of people, on boys like my son, and women like their mothers, their wives, and their sweethearts, like this girl here, Lolita. Benny is not dead. He is alive in her heart. Mine, too, for always. Thank you.
Have the command passed in review.
Charlie.
Yes, Lolita?
As soon as it is over, Raphael says we must go to the railroad station.
Railroad station?
Yes, he says Joe is there. Joe wants to see us.
Joe is going someplace?
I don't know. Oh, Charlie, please come with me.
Sure, Lolita, I come.
That good job I got with Mr. Gonzalez, yesterday I quit.
Joe.
I got another job, Lolita. Charlie, everybody. I'm now in the Army.
Joe, even before you're drafted?
But why, Joe? Why?
Well, Joe, and I know why. To get revenge for Benny and the other fellas. What do you think? Joe?
Look, kiddo, all that money that old Charlie will get for Benny's insurance, put it in a good bank for him. It is too bad that my bank is now busted.
Go on, Lolita. Give the soldier a big kiss. Sure, kiss him for good luck.
Oh, you bet you my life.
Hey, too much luck is plenty.
Look, my life, I was always twice as good as that Benny. I'll come back with 2 medals.
Oh, sure you will, Joe. Sure you will.
Goodbye, kiddo.
Goodbye, Charlie. Goodbye, Raphael. Goodbye. Goodbye, Joe. Oh, he's such a wonderful fellow.
Charlie, he's got to come back.
Sure, Joe.
He's got to.
Well, he will come, sure, Lolita. And you know what I think? Someday, you and Joe maybe, huh? Yes, Lolita. I think that would be very good.
Rebroadcast of your radio theater is a presentation of the Armed Forces Radio Service.
From Hollywood, the Hollywood Radio Theater. Starring Virginia Mayo and Dennis Morgan in This Woman is Dangerous. Ladies and gentlemen, your producer, Mr. Irving Cummings.
Greetings from Hollywood, ladies and gentlemen. So often when the guilty try to reform from a life of crime, they find themselves tied inexorably to the past. Such is the predicament in tonight's play, This Woman is Dangerous, when a beautiful woman in love with a famous doctor is unable to sever her tie with a vicious member of her gang. And as our stars of this suspenseful screen hit from the Warner Brothers studios, we have Dennis Morgan in his original role, co-starring with lovely Virginia Mayo. Now, This Woman is Dangerous, starring Virginia Mayo as Beth Austin and Dennis Morgan as Dr. Ben Halleck. A few hours ago in New Orleans, a nightclub and gambling casino was held up and robbed. The crime was exceedingly well planned. The police had very little to work on.
Come on in, McGill. Well, what'd you find out? Nothing. Not even a fingerprint. Lindsay's got the owner downstairs. He's booking him for running a gambling house.
Well, he must suspect somebody. Get to him.
The only one he can think of is a girl, somebody named Austin, Beth Austin. Seems that just before the robbery, she wanted some big bills changed. Well, they'd no more than open up the safe for her when the holdup took place.
What do you think that proves?
Well, not very much, Captain. Anyway, the dame's been a good customer. Been in there almost every night for over a month. You may be right, Captain. She may have been setting it up for them.
Well, get hold of her. See what she's got to say.
I was just about to tell you. She's been living at the Hotel Picon, only she's checked out suddenly. No forwarding address.
Beth Austin, huh? Any record on her?
No, sir. Not here. But we can pick her up at noon. Like I said, they don't know where she went. But they do know that she made reservations for Indianapolis on the 12 o'clock plane.
Okay, get down there. No, let her alone. Let her take the plane. She's high class, huh?
Hotel Picon. Plenty of looks and swell clothes.
I got a pretty good friend in Indianapolis. FBI. Fellow by the name of Harry Franklin. Put a call through, will you, McGill? There's just a chance that Franklin might be interested. Where have you been, Beth? Said you'd be here an hour ago.
There were some things I had to attend to at the hotel. Matt, what's wrong?
Nothing. Nothing's wrong.
Things to attend to, huh?
What happened, Beth? The maid who brought you breakfast in bed forget the doily?
You let her alone, Will. She doesn't feel well.
After last night, I feel fine. We should all feel fine.
Shut up. Beth, we've got another job lined up. Baton Rouge, tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night? Are you crazy?
What's so wrong with it?
Look, how long did it take us to work out the details at that gambling club?
About 2 months. Why?
Because by now you should understand that this sort of thing needs to be planned.
When are you going to stop listening to her? We did all right before she ever came in.
Matt, how much did we make last night?
Close to $90,000.
This Baton Rouge deal is good for another 20. And it's wide open.
I don't care if it's $1 million. We're not going to touch it. What do you think the police are doing? We're red hot.
Yeah. She's right, Will. Tell the boys it's off. Go on, get out of here.
Making a mistake.
So I'm making a mistake. Tell them.
You had breakfast, Beth? You want coffee? Nothing, thanks. And let us alone for a minute, will you? Sure.
Go with Will. Ann said you didn't feel well. Another headache?
Same one. Matt, you made me a promise. No risky job. Don't break that promise while I'm gone.
Well, you're gone. Where?
Indiana. That private hospital I told you about. It's my eyes, Matt. I have to have an operation.
Who said so?
The doctor I saw yesterday.
Why didn't you tell me you saw a doctor?
Oh, because of last night. I didn't want to upset you.
Last night? That's why you moved it up to last night, huh? So you could get away sooner. Not with me, but from me. So you could get your cut and beat it.
So I could help you before I had to go away.
How come Indiana? Why not here?
Because the best doctor is there.
He knows you're coming? He's waiting for you?
Yes. I sent him a telegram. I can't stand it much longer, Matt. These headaches are driving me out of my mind.
But you don't even bother to tell me. What sort of a routine is this?
Something I wouldn't lie about.
That guy in Miami was something you wouldn't lie about either, remember?
That was your fault. You stopped listening to me and listened to your cute little brother.
Will had nothing to do with that guy in Frisco, remember that?
A lot of men have looked at me. But what you don't remember is that I don't look back. Unless you start making sense...
Don't do it, Beth. Don't even try it.
Then don't drive me away from you. Every time you're broke, you say, I'm going to look for someone better. Every time you're in the money, you say, I'm going to take my cut and get out. I'm sick of hearing it, Matt.
I'm sorry.
Oh, you say that it's gratitude. But the only reason I'm sticking with you is because you gave me a helping hand when